I was accused of giving JSABs wonderful intros and not you. So I'm going to rectify that this episode.
Really?
And give you, yeah, somebody said to me, he goes, and every time Janine comes on, you make a big deal out of it. And Frank's there and you don't say anything. So now I'm going to give you a big intro.
Well, it's because we start the show together. JSabs comes in the middle.
Yeah, true. But I always have a little quirky thing for her. So
whatever. What
I
do you
don't want
got?
you to think I like her better than you. So I'm going to.
Let's see what you got then.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Starting now. All right. AOA podcast back for another episode. Shannon Sharpe back in the news. Still the number one story, Frankie C. Allegations against him from Jane Doe. We know who it is now. We've got more on Tony Busby. We've got some audio from a phone conversation. And Shannon Sharpe's defense is pretty interesting on this one. As predicted by yours truly, Meghan Markle's podcast is tanking as we speak. So we'll share the latest details on that. And the White House is getting 2 new flagpoles, and you would think that we found the cure for cancer because the way people are reacting is truly unbelievable. And maybe a little more The Last of Us talk on this episode. I'm not quite sure. The gentleman beside me purchased his first MAGA hat today. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie C is here. That's an episode.
Never going to happen.
What'd you think of the intro? Good? No good?
Not as great as I thought it was going to be. I'm a little,
right. All right. Good note. I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, you work on it. We'll see how you shape up on the next one. Well, listen, they can't all be gold right out the gate.
Not all the JSabs intros are gold, so.
All right.
Yeah.
But Shannon Sharpe.
Shannon Sharpe. Lawsuit was filed, and then Shannon Sharpe was like, okay, let me show you guys some text messages to show you what a whack job this Jane Doe is. And then we found out that Jane Doe is an OnlyFans model named Gabriella Gabby Zuniga.
Okay.
Who is quite attractive, to say the least. I don't know if that does anything for you, knowing who she is or seeing a photo of her, but the No Jumper podcast put this photo out, and that's her.
That's her butt.
Have you ever posed like that? Like, I think it would be hilarious if men started posing like women.
I posed like that once, and it was frowned upon at my family reunion. Nobody liked it. Everybody was like, "What is this?" And then we had to take another. Everybody got to get everybody back into the group. And
no.
I was like, one for fun. What are we doing?
You were same shorts, same gray shorts.
Little shorter and tighter. No top though.
No, that wasn't a fun. No top. Oh, that's sexy. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to know you were taking a serious one? Sometimes it's good to take a fun one.
I thought one for fun, and then we do the serious one. Nobody agreed.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So now we know who she is, and then the text messages. I don't know if you saw that. They were pretty smart move on the part of Shannon Sharpe to put those out, because he was like, "Hey, I want you to know what I'm up against here." And then he released a statement too, which I'll share with you. But first, let's go to the audio from TMZ. They're the ones who had this, and we'll go to their TikTok for it. But this is Shannon Sharpe on a phone call with young Gabriella here, and this was released by Tony Busby.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna.
Right.
Yeah, so he says, I don't think you have a choice in the matter. So it's a little perplexing. It's not a great look for him. On the other hand, though, if you go by the text messages that went back and forth between these two, she sent him multiple text messages about being tied up and choked, and she wanted his big black baby in her, and he used the terminology, put your baby gravy in me. Really, really just awful stuff. Just terrible shit.
Now.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. I'll give kudos to J-Sabs too, because I was reading all the text messages out until she came in and she was like, let me give you a relief here. Let me read some of these, because it was pretty embarrassing. It was some pretty embarrassing talk. Actually having to read those text messages out loud. And then
try reading them while posing at a family reunion. It's not good either.
I have a theory about women. Did I say this yet already? All women are part Flamingo. Because I don't know if you've noticed.
You did not.
Okay.
You did not share this with me.
Here's a hot take, fresh out of the oven.
They eat a lot of shrimp.
Oh, they do, actually. I've never seen a woman pass on a shrimp.
They stand on one leg.
That is exactly what it is. If you look at social media now, every girl like puts the camera on, right? Then she backs up so that you can see her full outfit. She turns to the side and picks her leg up. Every girl. If you don't believe me, just go on TikTok, Instagram, type in fashion or outfit of the day. Outfit of the day. OOTD, I know is a big hashtag. Outfit of the day. Go down that rabbit hole. Watch one woman after the next. It's the same thing. Camera goes on. They back up. They turn to the side.
Well, is that like the trend? Is that like the outfit of the day trend that they have to do or something?
No. I think this just has evolved over time of what, because you got to see the shoes, and I think it's just like a cute pose. Like girls, that's my cute, but girls, they always go to the foot.
Hey, all right.
I think they're part Flamingo. I think we've evolved, or at least women have, from the Flamingo. And I'm calling on Neil deGrasse Tyson to study this, because this is his area of expertise, science.
I could see him setting aside some time for this.
Yeah, he should. Enough with we get it. It's big. We don't know where it's going. All right, let's focus on what we can get a real comprehensive answer on, and it's Flamingo women.
All right, that seems logical.
Thanks.
What exactly? What are the exact? I know very little, the Shannon Sharpe stuff. What are the exact charges?
So it's not even a charge. It's a lawsuit.
Or allegations.
Yeah, though that she was AR'd twice.
AR'd twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he released like an explanation of it let me bring that up for you, because he put out this whole video, which I found interesting, where he basically calls the shots on what they're going to do next. Like he comes in and he goes, I know what's going to happen next. They're going to release 30 seconds of a video. And he basically calls on Tony Busby to release the entire 10 minutes of the video, because he's like, the 30 seconds is going to look pretty damning. But if you go back and you see like the 10 minutes of it, that's going to paint a far different picture. So, which, again, I don't know who's guilty here and who's not, but we do know the playbook for some people, and it is to kind of like, fit some of these things into these little boxes to just kind of like plead your case out, because that's really what it is. It's the court of public opinion, and then it becomes down to the civil trial of these two against each other. That's basically going to be the thing. And you have to prove your case. I mean, nobody's ever going to really know in a he said, she said scenario, but it's like, who's going to be the more convincing one? So here, Frankie, see, here's Shannon on the playbook. It's a minute clip that he released the other day.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown.
I love when people say, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart, and they're clearly reading off of
Oh yeah,
a teleprompter of
this
some
is from
sort.
the heart, and we spent many hours writing this, but it's
Yeah.
from the heart.
And it's just, if you, I don't know if you can see it in our clip here, but it's just, he's looking just off camera, which drives me fucking crazy. Cause like almost every app now has like a teleprompter feature. So you could look right in the lens and have the words there for you. But okay.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Can you make it bigger?
I can make it a little bigger. Yeah. We don't need to see us so well, do we?
There we go.
All right. So here's Shannon.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
So this is a complicated one because there's really suspect behavior on both sides. Like another thing that she texted a lot about was she flat out said to him, like, I want 50 grand. Like there was a text message where it was like, she showed her ass to him and she was like 25,000 a cheek, you know? So it's like her and like her demanding a baby and wanting to be pregnant and everything like that. Is not a good look for her on her side of this.
Uh-huh.
And then you look
at doesn't justify R.
Well, right. So then here's the other part. So you look at the creepy stuff from his side of it. He's 48 or whatever, 45. She's 19.
Ugh.
So it's like, what are you doing that you're, you know, okay, it's one of those scenarios where legally okay, but 45 to 19 on OnlyFans, like, you know, I love these people who present themselves like I'm I'm a gentleman, and you know, I'm being accused of wrong, but you're fucking 30 years older than that. Not to say that you can't find love, you know, that's a little younger than you, but come on, a 45-year-old guy and a 19-year-old, you're never going to come across looking good that way.
No, that doesn't come. That's a bad look for you. That's not good.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what the worst part about all of this is. And this could affect the Diddy case because Tony Busby is the person who's prosecuting Diddy. And then he has that whole lawsuit that he filed against Jay-Z, which he subsequently took away.
That was dropped, yeah.
That was dropped and was a bad look. And I think Jay-Z's suing him. And that they didn't have a lot of ground to stand on in that particular case, even when they filed it, which is why I think they let it go. So that's not a good look. Now, Shannon Sharpe, like I think I give him a lot of credit for saying there's going to be a 30-second tape coming out. And if you go to the 10 minutes, you'll see that I'm innocent. Like that makes it look bad on her part that you're just chopping, you're taking out of context something that happened. Like, was there rough sex involved? Probably. I mean, there's text messages between the two of them talking about tying each other up and choking each other and all this crazy stuff. Clearly they were into that was like their thing, some role playing, whatever, you know, but that doesn't mean that he assaulted her.
Right.
You know, doesn't mean that he doesn't. Again, we're not going to know. But again, as you're trying to play out in the court of public opinion here, it's not great on both their parts, but it's really not great for Busby, who, if this blows up in his face now and he's 0-2 going into the Diddy trial, not great.
Yeah. I mean, they can't change prosecutors, can they?
Well, I mean, I guess all the people that filed the law. Yeah, I mean they could if they wanted to,
Good
but
if they wanted to.
they
But-
all went to him, and then he filed like 1 million suits or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like a ton of suits.
Right. Well, I guess the ball is in their court for this Shannon Sharpe thing. The ball is in the girls' court.
Yeah.
I mean, do they release the 10-minute thing? Do they what's their move? What are they going to do?
How could you not? He said it now. Now that he said, like, that was the brilliant move in Shannon Sharpe putting this out. You get ahead of it, and
or do they just? I mean, is there a trial? Is there a date or?
No, just
it's a
filed
lawsuit, right?
Just a filed lawsuit right now.
I mean, unless they want to keep it under wraps and they just release it in the court and they just
maybe. But
they're silent until the court date.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. The reason why he knows this is there was another report that basically was like they tried to get him to settle. I think she asked for 50, which is what the lawsuit is for. I think he offered her 10 million and she turned it down. And I think that was part of this thing of like, hey, we're going to put out this tape if you don't settle, if you don't give us the money. So he knows it exists and he knows that it's coming.
Right.
But he doesn't have it, so he can't put out the full 10 minutes. So that's why you go on the offensive like this and you say, hey, there's 10 minutes of this tape, so put out the whole thing if you're so, That's not a great look for Busby. That doesn't make him look good. And that we can't act like that's not going to come into play in the Diddy trial. Like when the lawyers are going to be like, well, you dropped the Jay-Z lawsuit, now you're getting sued. And then
that's objection. I feel like that's not relevant. I feel like to this one case has nothing to do with the other unless they're connected in some way. I'm not sure, but I don't know if you could bring up, hey, your record is this much. I mean, I feel like.
Yeah, but I could see them bringing it up even if it gets stricken from the record and all that shit. That the jury's still they're still gonna hear it. It's still gonna come out.
That's so weird. I always thought that was so weird. It's like you could say anything, and objection, and it's like sustained. It's like, yeah, but they already said it. You can't unring the bell. Whatever was just said was said.
Yeah.
Even if it gets objected to, it's still out there. It's very weird. But
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to see if whatever I guess the next move is in the girls' court. Ball's in our court, and don't know when the trial, if there's going to be a trial or a settlement or whatever. But maybe if there is a 10-minute tape, it gets played in court or whatever. I don't know.
I just want to see it.
I
want to see the tape.
No, thank you.
I want to know what's going on over there.
Nah, you summarize it for me.
You mean you want me to do? I got to watch it and just describe it to you.
You get the Cliff Notes.
You're not going to watch all 10 minutes?
No.
What kind of journalist are you, Frankie C? What happened?
Not a very good one.
But the truth of the matter is Janine will be knocking us both over to get that assignment. She'll be like, I got this. I'll watch it. I'll go through the whole thing.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. Weird though that she filed the lawsuit as a Jane Doe and like a day and a half later we know exactly who she is. Like that's a little weird.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not even quite sure how it happened, but it happened.
Yep.
2 overreactions in the media today. The White House flags and Meghan Markle going to some time conference, Time 100. I don't even know what the fuck a Time 100 is. If she made some sort of
Time magazine?
Yeah. I don't know if she made some sort of a list, which would just make me want to fucking vomit. Oh my God. I was bombarded today, dude. Bombarded.
The top 100 bags of food that you could put into smaller bags.
She reduces the bag size like nobody's business, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty good.
Meghan Markle.
That should be her angle, her gimmick.
Yeah.
Own it.
And then how on X it'll tell you if something is like trending, and then it'll tell you like how many tweets there are. So at the height of the Meghan Markle tweets, there was only 8,000 tweets. but I don't, people, my phone was blowing up from people like, did you see this? Look at this. Like Meghan, like she gets out of the car and like people are losing their shit over her suit, like the suit that she was wearing.
Why? I don't even
know.
I didn't see it, but whatever.
I'll flash it up here really quick. Here, look at this. Meghan, the Duchess of Pit Stains. So I don't think this person likes her. But they put a picture of the Princess of Wales next to Meghan Markle's outfit. And I guess they were very similar.
They are. Sure.
Yeah. But clearly, I don't know how she got on this time list or the date or whatever, but she did like a little oh, look at us, we showed up.
What did we do?
Meghan Markle. I was gonna show you a clip of the Meghan Markle interview, and look at that right underneath. I don't know.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. But anyway, that was her. That was this was the thing. It was like one of these, like you're on stage talking to somebody things.
Okay.
So that was the time when I don't even know what the fuck it is, but anyway, she got into the city and the arrival, and everybody was making a big fucking stink over her today. So obviously our shit was blowing up. And she talked about how she was like the happiest she's ever been, and you know, all this stuff, and about like leaving room for her to make mistakes and all nice stuff. Like all great. Her mental health is in a good spot. Okay, wonderful. The reality of the situation though is her podcast is tanking. She's on episode 3. The first episode, she got the founder of Bumble. On the second episode, it was, who was it? It was some other, somebody who's a coder. Like, you know how there was a big push to have women coding because women weren't getting like coding jobs, you know? So it was one of those people. Oh, Reshma Saujani, Saujani. That's Girls Who Code, the founder of Girls Who Code. That was her second guest.
Okay.
Her third guest was Katie Lee, who is her friend and business partner. So what does that tell you? Oops, we're running out of, Yeah. By the way, and here's the thing. We know for sure she reached out to Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Hailey Bieber, who all rejected her, told her no. Actually, she didn't even get an answer from the first two.
Oh.
So she's failed to get any major guests on the podcast. And she's got her friend and business partner on episode 3.
See, I want to point out that you said you wouldn't bring her up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, all right, we'll bring her up if something happens with her, with this or with that at the beginning or at the. This is just a random. You're just gonna shit on Meghan Markle topic.
Yeah. And as I decided on an episode or two ago when I said, I don't know what I said, but I was like, I'm not gonna hold back anymore. Like the demise here, I said I would only mention her twice. And I'm like, why when the body is cold on the street and you're putting the line around it? Why does that have to be the only time? Let's chronicle the journey on the way down. Let's chronicle the collapse. Because I think it's negative. Very negative. It's going to be well, you know what? Fuck her, because I'm tired.
Oh man.
I am tired of her shit and everybody acting like there's something there of substance. There's not. There's not. And our comment section is still filled every day with people who are like, leave her alone. She's wonderful. She's not wonderful. And by the way, I'll just say this. I am not gathering evidence, but there is lots of stories that are coming to light about what a mean piece of shit she is.
Really?
And I'm going to compile it all together, and don't worry, everybody. I'll share it with you. I'm not going to forget that. No need to remind me on this one. But yeah, even so much so that the Queen had to like tell her, "Hey, you got to be nicer to the staff at the castle here. I don't know where they live. What are they called? Buckingham Palace. You got to be nicer to the people at the palace." Yeah, she had to be corrected by the Queen. Like, so I'm telling you, she's a piece of shit. Like, I don't even like. She's talentless. We know that. That's been confirmed. There's no debating that. Now it's, can we uncover how much of a big piece of shit she is? And I don't know for sure how big of a piece of shit she is, but I know there's a little bit in there. So we're gonna bring that out and bring that to light. By the way, in the third episode, and not that I listened, I don't know this. I know this from a story. In the third episode, she opened up about the fact that the lifestyle brand used to be called American Riviera Orchard, and that they changed it to As Ever, and she described it as the brand sounding like word salad. Again, this was in the Katie Lee episode. She said, as the project evolved and major partner Netflix came on board, the original naming structure no longer made sense, saying, quote, "I had secured As Ever as a name in 2022, and then everything started to evolve last year, and bringing in a partner the size that it was, and it was just so interesting. I like American Riviera as an umbrella, and then be able to have verticals beneath it, and maybe have the orchard really small. But when that's not feasible, suddenly it became this word salad. I didn't love that so much, so we changed it." So that was her explanation.
To be fair, she's not wrong on that.
That it was bad?
American Riviera Orchard doesn't really roll off the tongue.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have even gotten to that point. It's like that. That's a moment in the meeting where you go, "That no, you don't have to write that one down." You know, when everybody's in the meeting writing down stuff, just be like, "That you don't have to write that one. Take that one down. That's not a good fucking thing."
Well, that's the name of the company, right? That's the name. Where did that name come from?
What she wanted to call it, and then she switched it to As Ever.
Oh, I see. I thought it was okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, the Times of London columnist James Marriott slammed her podcast as, quote, "Meghan's vapid lessons in self-love," while the writer for The Guardian noted that it was a stomach-turning and psychopathic episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, you seem very invested in this.
Well, I mean, the Telegraph, their critic, Chris Benyon, said that the podcast is an inane stream of mindless aphorisms. Somebody look that up. What this fuck is aphorism?
I don't have time for that.
APHORISMS, with no confessions or secrets. Here's a confession. I fucking hate this woman.
No.
I will leave her alone when she goes away. I want that to be known. I don't wish bad on her. I hope she's mentally.
Well, you want all her businesses to fail.
Yes, I do.
You want her podcast to go away. You want everything she's doing and trying.
Yes.
To end.
I want her out of my life. Okay. And I can't seem to get there. Do you know who? Okay. You know who else I can't stand? Cugino. What's his fucking name? The guy with the huge horse nose. Who's have you ever seen this guy? He's somebody help me out here. But in all like the TikTok-y, Instagram influencer people, there's like an Italian crew, and there's like the growing up Italian podcast guys, and there's like a big fat guy who pretends he's in the mafia, and he like wears suits and he goes like this and shit like that. He takes pictures. Like, I don't know what his purpose is, but I don't have a problem with him. It's fine. And then there's Lil Mo Mozzarella, who I do like. The guy who goes, "How you doing? How you do?" That guy, he's a little annoying, but I like him.
I'm annoyed already.
And then there's another guy. I know you would fucking hate him because you don't like when people act like they're in the mafia. You would hate all of these people. There's this douchebag, and he's got like this huge horse nose. It's just like an arm coming off of his face. His nose is so fucking big. He puts Toucan Sam to shame. I don't want to make fun of his physical appearance because I have no
more
legs.
than you already have.
But let's just say he could light a cigarette in the rain and it won't go out with his hands behind his back. Okay. If I could steal a line from The Sopranos.
Jeez.
He's so fucking annoying. And I have blocked him. Like I blocked him so that like his videos don't come up. But every now and then he does a video with somebody else and it'll come up and I immediately just scroll past. I just made the decision to not have this man in my life. And it has been so great. And I need
That's
to
what
do
you need
that.
to do with Meghan Markle.
That's what I need to do with her. But the problem is I'm not just
block
getting
her out.
But I'm not just getting it from the algorithm. Everybody is sending me videos and clips and shit non-stop, like non-stop.
Delete them. Don't even look at them.
I know. But this
You're
is
addicted.
fun. Watching her podcast shrivel up and die is fun. The idea that she thinks she has a shot at Beyonce or Taylor Swift just goes to show you how fucking delusional she really is and how nobody wants anything to do with her. Taylor Swift and Beyonce will never go on that podcast. They'll never go. And by the way, and I just want to emphatically say, if you're a woman or a minority and you're looking for like leadership, work skills, branding, any of that kind of stuff, there are a million other podcasts out there that you're going to get that information from that are doing a great job from women and minorities who are working hard day in and day out to provide their expertise and their experience on what they've done that is going to be a million times better than listening to this talentless hack piece of shit. Okay. Because everybody from Call Her Daddy to the girl who used to run Barstool, her name is escaping right now, but I love her. She's great. Like there are so many women and minority led podcasts that give you insight on business. Go find Mel Robbins, all these people. Go find one of those because you're going to get.
One.
Well, it's not. No. You could put us on the list next to Meghan Markle and podcasts that are not great for business or women in business.
Yeah, I mean, we're good for pointing out cup chairs, but that's pretty much it.
That's really, it's limited. Our talents are limited there. Yeah. Why do you have a hoe? Look, we're trying to be. I'm trying to get better for women in business, and you're out there calling them hoes. I don't understand what's happening.
You want to know the story? This and another bag that I have. Your kids' Christmas presents.
Why'd you steal my kids' Christmas presents?
That we have to give your kid. We haven't seen you or your kids since Christmas. We haven't had a chance to give you Christmas presents for your kids. And this is one of them. It's been in and out of our car. I don't know how many times.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, oh, we might see them today. All right, put it in the trunk. Now it can't leave. All right.
I hope it's not clothes or something like that because I don't know if they're going to be able to fit in it anymore.
Maybe not.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't think it's food either. I don't think it's like chocolate. Shouldn't be. You'll be fine. But yeah, we got 2 bags.
Here's some molded Christmas chocolate for you kids. Enjoy.
Yeah, and some baby clothes. Enjoy. So next time we see you guys, remind us.
Well, that's what's good about having 2 kids so close in age. Whatever you got for him that doesn't fit, maybe we'll pop it on her. You know, maybe she's got a new shirt out of the deal.
Yeah, we're not revealing the present though. They have to open it.
Not yet. It could still fall out this episode, as those things tend to do. You know,
that's true.
You know, what's funny? I missed Christmas with my extended family this year because I don't even know why. Somebody was sick, maybe. I think my aunt was sick. My uncle had no heat in his apartment. It was like a crazy Christmas. So we didn't do Christmas with the extended family. So when Easter came, it was like, should we do our white elephant? And then it was like, let's everybody bring your white elephant gifts. And my Uncle Glory Hole was like, all right, I'll bring it. And then my aunt was like, I ate my the present I was given. She's like, I ate it. It's gone. So she had to go out and buy new white elephant presents. Yeah.
That's good. You know, hey, it's up for grabs after the holiday comes and goes. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't blame her.
One of the gifts, it's so funny that you put that up. One of the gifts was a Caesar salad candy cane.
What?
Yeah. It was a package, you know, because White Elephant is supposed to be like goofy gifts. Like they gave me, I got macaroni and cheese gummies, like not 420 gummies, but just regular gummies. Yeah.
How were they?
I didn't eat them. I didn't eat them.
Mm.
I did lick one of the Caesar salad candy canes because I had to know what that tasted like. And it was disgusting. Imagine if you could grind up Caesar salad and then pour a lot of sugar in it. It's just, and my daughter loved it. She was like, "Oh, this is so good." She had like 3 of them. She just kept
my
rolling.
God.
Yeah. I think we have a problem with her.
Oh, that's gross.
It's really disgusting.
Caesar salad. Who the hell? Where do you even get that?
I don't even know. No, I don't even know where that would come
Probably
from.
like a gag gift website or something.
Yeah. You want to know it's beyond hilarious. So I don't have it with me. All right. Next episode, I will show you. We're going, it was Christmas time and it's like, all right, we got to do, and with these gifts, like, there's always like a limit. So ours was like $20 or 20, you got to spend under $25 or whatever the hell it was. So I was on Target's website and I stumble across this like black cat pillow thing. And it's so fucking ugly. And apparently I launched into a tirade about who the fuck would buy this. It was like $12. I'm like, who the fuck would buy this thing? It's so disgusting and it's so gross. My uncle bought it and put it in the and I picked it.
That's hilarious.
I picked the cat and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck? And I almost didn't even remember it at first. He's like, you don't remember that? And then
so you got stuck with it. So you said how ugly and stupid it was, and he bought it in hopes that you would get it.
And yeah, we went out and bought it.
That's amazing. Is this Uncle Glory Hole?
This is Uncle Glory Hole. Yeah, he's got
That's amazing.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, so that was good. So now I have this black cat pillow. It's so, dude, it is so, remember the episode where George sees the doll and it looks like his mother and it's like evil and talking to him? That's this cat thing. I just feel like it talks to me at night. Like, it's just...
Is it comfortable? Is it a comfortable pillow?
No, that's what's hilarious. Like, it's like a rough denim material, like almost. It's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest. I'll see if Cuddles can bring it up because I don't know if anybody should wait for this. It might be too much buildup. Can you bring up the black cat pillow? All right, let's see if Cuddles will deliver that. Yeah, it was just, I thought that was pretty hilarious. And then like, so because for Christmas we go by my uncle's, and then Christmas Day we hosted here and my sister comes here. My sister doesn't go by my uncle's house. She does other family stuff. So she wasn't in on the white elephant, but she came to Easter. So she was sitting there going, what's happening? You guys are like, why are people opening up Christmas gifts right now?
Why do they call it a white elephant?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. Thank you. I love you.
There we go.
Are you ready for this? It like jingles.
Why?
Like, I don't know. It's the ugliest thing ever. I mean,
it's adorable.
How is that adorable? It's like, so wait, hold on. Let me act like a girl.
Oh, here it is. It has back paws and everything.
Yeah, it's got
It's
back
flat.
paws.
You can't even.
By the way, look how huge this tag is. Who lets it out of the factory with a tag this size?
It has a lot of instructions, so you don't ruin it.
There's 2 tags for some reason. We did a shorter tag and a longer tag. Yeah. I don't even know. It's so, and what's funny? So I called it a pillow, but I don't even know, like, because I was like, what?
It looks like it's a stuffed animal that,
Right.
I don't know if it's a pillow.
No, but I had to check one of the 4 tags on here and it says decorative pillow.
Aha. All right.
Right there.
Yeah, there it is.
And then it's got somebody, like, there's a tag on it. John Dairy and Company. So some company was proud enough to put a name on this and Target sold it.
All right. Hey, maybe they have a whole line of these ugly things.
And I don't know if you can tell. Hold on. Like, it's a scratchy, not comfortable. It's got a bell on it.
It's supposed to be decorative.
This is decorative? Who's like, oh, I need that in my house?
People who love weird looking cats.
Who walks into a store and goes, do you have the creepiest, most possessed looking devil black and red cat with like beady burning eyes. Do you have that? Any of those?
Those eyes are staring right into my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come right this way, aisle 6. Yeah, that's where we keep all the creepy possessed cats.
We don't even, that's not even like ears. Those are like horns.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, and he's got like, and the fangs are sticking out, and there's all these red the colors of the New Jersey Devils, red and black. Okay, it's intentional. This is a devil cat.
Is the bell removable?
No.
The thing around his neck.
No, ribbon? and the bow to the left is a little French too, don't you think? Like, isn't
well? They had to have a bow and a bell, so
yeah.
When you have bells and bows, you got the bow you shift over.
Yeah.
Got it. Is there a name for it? Like it's the blah 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 cat pillow?
Oh, great question. Let's see if this says anything here. It just says decorative pillow. No, it was made in India, so glad we got it before all the tariffs set in. That's nice.
How much was it? $15?
Yeah, it had to be under 22, 25, 20, but 20, whatever. I think it was like $12. I don't know if it says it here. No, the price isn't on it. No.
Well, I think it's the new show mascot.
Yeah, I think so too. Right? Like this is the.
Yeah, just slide it into this corner here, and it just sits there the whole show.
It sits there now.
Yeah, it stares right into the camera.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna check out this podcast." What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Just turn it right off.
We're hypnotizing our viewers with this thing.
Yeah, be careful. Anybody fucks with me, I'm gonna send old Spidey here. I don't know. We gotta give it a name. We gotta call it something. Cat? Possessed cat? Smelly cat?
No, man. That's a good one. What would you name people in the chat? What are you naming this cat?
Yeah, let's name this thing. And we're not calling it Meghan Markle. Oh, but Paul says send it to Meghan. I like that idea.
Right?
Yeah.
She'll show you how you could take this cat.
Yeah.
And put it on a table. Because that's decorating. Tinker's cat thingy. That's funny.
Oh, cat thingy is hilarious. Hellcat is good.
Hellcat.
Kamala Harris.
No.
Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. Frank, I think Kanye is here with us. This is crazy.
What?
Eritrean Jew, I despite black men. They are expendable and serve us no protection.
Oh boy.
I don't know what's happening here. I think you
Negus,
I think you're on the wrong podcast.
Yikes.
I think you're looking for I know this looks weird, but you're not there's
no place for that.
I don't know if we're for you on this one. Everybody was very surprised I didn't talk about Kanye in the last episode. I don't want to talk about Kanye.
He needs to like just fade into the background.
Yeah, I'm doing to Kanye what I'm doing to the Italian guy. I just don't want. I don't want to talk. I don't care. He put a song out. Apparently, he blew his cousin. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
One ridiculous thing after another with him, and it's not worth giving his stories any oxygen. I can't do it.
It's the same thing with OJ. After a while, I was like, I don't want to talk about OJ. I'm uncomfortable talking about a murderer like nothing happened. I don't want to talk about this. And so we did, Yeah. I like Cucknip a little bit. That's pretty good.
Cucknip?
Yeah.
For the cat?
Yeah, Cucknip. Like catnip. Cucknip.
I see.
It's not bad. Cat Tua. That's not bad. Cat Tua is pretty good. Oh, Catmala is what it was supposed to be. Catmala Harris. That's good. That I like. I like Catmala. That's pretty good.
Huh.
Mercury likes Cat Tua.
Cat Tua is kind of cool. Cat Tua. Would you get sued? We'd probably get sued.
Maybe.
If we have a character on our show called Cat Tua.
I want to name it Nagus or Nagus, whatever.
No.
Afro Danny Doll. That sounds like a made up name. That was great. I liked having her here.
A cat, man. It's freaking me out.
It's weird. All right, I'm gonna remove it. I'm afraid though if I put it just off screen, it's just gonna be staring at me.
Oh, it definitely will be. It's gonna be no matter where you put it, it's gonna be in your room tonight. You're gonna wake up, it's gonna be sitting on your dresser, just staring at you.
I know. I think I'm gonna put it in the trash bin outside. And before anybody goes and just throw it out. Here's why I haven't thrown it out. I'm afraid that if I throw it in the garbage outside, I'm going to wake up the next morning and it's going to be back in the house staring at me when I wake up.
Oh, one way to see if that happens.
I don't want to see it. I'm worried. I'm too scared to do it. Then because if it does, then I got to leave. I have to leave.
Well, it's going to follow you. Well, it doesn't matter where you go. It's going to follow you. That's it.
That would be terrifying. If that happened, I would literally look at it and go, I get it. I will leave. This is your house now. You
run the place. Does it attach to the house or does it attach to you?
I don't know. I hope the house.
Is the problem.
I'm hoping the house.
Oh, boy.
Paul says stick pins in it. No, I don't want to harm it at all.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was there more than one on the shelf or was that the only thing?
I don't know. That's a question for Uncle Glory Hole.
When you saw it.
No. Oh, no. I saw it online.
Oh,
did I see it in person? I can't remember now. I thought I saw it online. I know he ordered it online.
All right.
But that's hilarious. Clearly that's where I get it from. Because if somebody's like, oh, this is stupid, and I have a desire to buy it for them.
My Christmas shopping's done.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, by the way, Erin and I started watching Curb. We're a season in.
You got through season 1. Okay, good.
Season 1. Now, I love it. Hilarious. Great show.
Wait, hold on. Should we put like a title down for this?
If you like.
Okay.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Erin and I started watching. And big fan. It's a great show. Funny. Hilarious. Larry David is freaking hysterical. I have one criticism.
Okay, go ahead. Now that we got the right title up on the screen, that should be...
Why am I racist and sexist?
Because you make fun of Meghan Markle a lot. She's a minority woman.
That's not nice. That's not... I think you got the wrong thing. I'll take old. I'm old. But racist and sexist?
Okay, go ahead. Season 1.
Season 1. Now, did I figure out the formula for the entire show of in Act 1 of the episode, he runs into someone, has an altercation with them, and then by Act 3, figures out that person's probably very important and comes back to be someone that messes with him later? Like, is that because I feel like that's happened 4 times already in this show.
No.
Runs into someone in the first act of the episode, yells at them or gets into an argument or a fight with them, and then by the end of the episode, they happen to be like his doctor or something. It's like,
how do I say this? It's not. It happens multiple times, but I wouldn't say that's the formula for the whole series. Yeah.
Okay, because that's it's the first season, which I love, which is great. But I feel like I was like, this person in the beginning is going to be important later.
Yeah. No, I'll say this: the Curb, like The Office, first season, good. Season 2, 3, and 4, you're like, holy! Like they hit a stride. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm in. I'm locked in. We're definitely binging this whole thing.
I might go back and watch it now just to kind of stay with you because I love that show.
Watch along.
What was the first season finale? Was that the incest family thing?
Oh, I can't remember. It was a few days ago. We watched a bunch of them.
Look at you, 4 days ago, and you've already forgotten.
Yeah, I can't remember if we got to the last episode or we're for one behind.
Okay. Did you watch The Last of Us episode 2?
I did. Put the spoiler alert up.
Okay, because I let Cuddles on last episode. Sorry, everybody. This will be brief. It's going to be some spoilers here for The Last of Us if you haven't watched yet. But I let Cuddles on last episode, and you thought it was me talking about Meghan Markle. She was very passionate about it.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. All right, so people in the chat, yeah, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. If you haven't seen it yet, maybe mute us, and once we get rid of this thing, then we're done talking about it.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, I was kind of blown away. Like, I didn't see that coming. I saw, just by browsing around online, just being on Facebook and Instagram, whatever, you run across a spoiler, right? Just randomly. I wasn't looking for any information on the show. You just scroll by something and you get a brief glimpse of something. So what I saw as a semi-spoiler was, we all need therapy after that character's death. I went, oh, come on. I was like, oh, a big character dies. Great, thanks. So as the episode was drawing to the end, I was like, oh, fuck, they're not going to do that, are they? And then it was like, all right, I guess. So I could see where they're going with the show. Yes. So now it's her and a revenge kind of a thing, and
Ellie versus Abby. Yeah.
So I get it, but damn, that was a brutal one.
Heartbreaking, right?
Heartbreaking. That scene was heartbreaking. It was messed up. I mean, it was a really good episode as far as
incredible.
the whole episode itself. But damn.
Cuddles and I were saying, like, even like every step of the way, we're like, how are they going to say? When is it? Who's going to step in? How are they going to save him? What's it? Up until like when the other kid shows up in the horse at the very end, I'm like, oh, he's going to bring medicine or whatever. Even when they were dragging his wrapped up body in the snow, I'm like, oh, are they taking him back to the village to get him? I'm like, I don't know if he's going to come back from this.
Yeah, I don't think you drag a sick person like that.
I hate that you got when did you watch it? You didn't watch it Sunday?
Watched it Monday.
Okay, see. All right, now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right, are we done? I'm going to take the spoiler banner off, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
All
right, so there's no spoiler alerts here, but obviously something major happens in this episode, in episode 2. Cuddles and I watch it, and we are flabbergasted. Now, after episode 1, I texted in the group chat, did anybody watch The Last of Us? 3 of the 8 people, whatever, said yeah, or like, I didn't watch. But basically, 3 of the 8 people responded, and they were like, not yet, but I'm gonna watch it. With varying degrees of that. And so we watch episode 2, and I almost texted in the group chat, like, hey, everybody, if you watch The Last of Us, you need to watch it tonight. But I felt that even that was too much of something major is going to happen on this episode, that I didn't send it. But it breaks my heart now, because I might have saved you, especially from a slight spoiler.
Maybe, but it airs late, and I don't think I was up. What time? It airs at like 10 o'clock?
It goes on, yeah, because we watch it on Max. We watch it on demand. So at 10 o'clock. Oh, no, 9 o'clock, I think.
Oh, maybe I could have. But either way, I don't think I was going to watch it that Sunday night anyway. Don't remember why. But yeah, so we figured, all right, Monday. One day, shouldn't be anything. But, I didn't see exactly what happened, but I'm like, come on, do you have to? I don't get this obsession with being the first to talk about something. Like, just, hey, or don't put it right on the, where you're going to scroll past it. Put The Last of Us, click here to talk about it.
Right.
That's all. You don't have to put the, oh my God, did you see this? It's like, stop. And it showed it showed the part with I keep forgetting her name, Ellie.
Yeah.
I don't want to, again, spoiler. I don't want to spoil. It showed a scene with her, or like an image with her, and I was like, ah. So it spoiled a moment a specific moment for me. And And I was like, what are you doing to me? Why would you do that? It's not even 24 hours this thing is out.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It's messed up.
There's no win in it, though. I feel like if I would have texted you that, you would have known something is up.
I don't mind a big, hey, something big, because something big happens on almost every episode of that show, because there aren't that many episodes. I feel like the first season, it's only like, I don't even remember, 7 or 8 episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
So there aren't a lot of episodes. So something big typically happens. And I don't think, did anything really big happen in the first? I don't think anything big happened in the first episode. Like, that would be like a holy shit. But this was a holy shit. And it was like, damn it. Just let me watch it. Well, give me a week.
Yeah.
Not even. And then you could, hey, let's. But then, a week goes by and everybody's like, oh, we can't. That's the problem. Everybody's like, we can't talk about it anymore because it's a week old. It's like, can't give it a week.
And it's an even bigger issue with this show because, like other shows, is this is based on a video game. Sometimes the shows are based on books or whatever. But if there's source material already out there that people are aware of, even more so people want to be like, I knew that because I was in on the original source material. So, because a lot of people were like, when I immediately went to Twitter after the show and I was like bombarded with the amount of people being like, I knew this was coming. Like I knew it. It's like, come on,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Paul, thank you, Flying Y, for the super sticker.
Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. Paul, Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're in. We're locked in. It's a great show. I had never had any doubts. I knew it was going to be hilarious. I know that. It's Larry David. It's the whole thing,
Did you go back to did you watch the special?
No, not yet.
Okay. Go back and watch it because I don't think it's going to matter. The show changes season 2. It changes slightly. And then it eventually becomes what it becomes. And then you'll see, like, this is no spoiler, but it is based off of the prior season, but you'll come to find that every season then has an arc to it.
Yeah.
As every show does, but it's like, it's a very different, arc.
Okay. Did you see Larry David's, he wrote a thing, basically a fictional, I guess, a story, and not the maybe the Times or something.
Yeah, no, I think he did an op-ed in the Times. I think that's exactly what it was.
Which was, I thought, brilliant. I thought it was great. It was called My Dinner with Hitler or something like that.
Yep.
Dinner with Adolf.
My Dinner with Adolf.
It was brilliant. It's one of those. I mean, Bill, it was basically, without mentioning him, it was a shot at Bill Maher. And anybody who goes to have dinner, just like a friendly sit down with Trump. That's the comparison. And it was brilliant. So anybody, it's worth a read. Give it a good read. It's only a few paragraphs. It's not that long of a thing. And it's definitely worth a few minutes.
You read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell you how much that enrages me?
What?
I sent you videos to watch, and you're like, I don't have time for this. But you sat down and you read this fucking 12-page essay?
It wasn't 12 pages. It was a few paragraphs.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we don't have TikTok. No, I'm not. Yeah, there it is. It's a few paragraphs. That's it.
Well, get TikTok. Hey, everybody's got TikTok.
I'm on Instagram and YouTube. That's it. It's one page. That's it.
Behind everything. I disagree with this, though, in all actuality, and I'll tell you why. I think we need more of what Bill Maher did. I think we need more talk and more conversation. How do you reach Donald Trump without standing in front of him and telling him how you feel so he can take that into consideration?
Because the issue is, he doesn't give a shit about how you feel.
He may not.
Like the comparison is, it's like sitting down, like without read. If you didn't read the thing, basically it's worth definitely. No matter what I say here, definitely give it a read, because it's worth taking a look. But it's like sitting down with Hitler, having dinner, and going, "Oh, this guy." It basically humanizes a certain
I know, but
this
he's
type of
not
badness.
Hitler. But he's not
No,
Hitler.
he's not Hitler. But it's the comparison of you have a tyrannical leader who's trying to take laws and rights away, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, this is a good guy. He's joking with me. What's the problem?" So when you say, "Oh, I'm going to sit down," and he's not going to change based on you sitting down with him. He's not going to change his mind.
Okay, but let me say something to that. Let me respond to that. Bill Maher did not say he was a good guy. He just said he saw the human being behind the
Exactly.
persona or whatever it was. Well, he is a human being.
He's a human being. I get it. But what you're doing is you're normalizing him.
The guy's done some nice things, despite the fact that he's done some not great things. And
Name one.
despite the fact that
Name one nice thing he's done.
I mean, come on, he's paid for people's mortgages, and he's
pays for people's mortgages.
Yeah, he paid a few people's mortgages off, and he's done some nice things. He's donated, obviously.
You mean did he donate to those charities that he scammed out of money, that he was told, and that he was sued for those donations?
I'm not saying he hasn't done bad things.
He's
encouraging
people. He's encouraging the government to build 5 more camps, concentration camps, that he wants to send migrants and people who actually are legal citizens to them, criminals. He just wants to send them to these camps. So when you make the comparison to Hitler, he's not Hitler. Hitler is a completely different subject.
Thank you.
But it's not far-fetched.
No, but I think the way that you get to a guy like that is exactly the way Bill Maher did it. And here's why I say this. Because the way he's in such a fight with the media that nothing...
It's his fight. It's like saying, "Oh, I've been treated so unfairly," when you're it's like punching someone in the face and then saying, "Oh, the news treats me unfairly." Well, you punched someone in the face. The news is going to be critical of that. So when Trump punches America in the face and then he goes, "Oh, how could the news media portray me like this?" Well, stop punching us in the face and we won't say bad shit about you. When you keep doing terrible shit, the news just reports that shit. And then you go, "Oh, they're negative and they're only reporting the bad shit." Well, stop doing bad shit and we won't report it. So when you say Bill Maher could sit down, did he sit down and convince him to do something different? Did he change any of his agenda or anything like that?
No.
Probably not.
Well, no, but that's not the point. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not change in Trump is not going to come from one conversation, but putting him in front of people who don't agree with him is a good thing for the country.
Putting him in front of people is I get that, fine, but there's a forum to do that, and it's rapid fire questioning him and then fact checking him when he goes off on his blatant bullshit lies.
No, that's trying to catch him. That's trying to catch him in a lie.
You're not going to change his mind. That's the problem. You think you're going to sit there and he's going to go, "Yeah, I see it your way now. Let me do it this way." He's not going to do that, because that would be him admitting he's wrong, and he's never going to do that.
But that's not the what I'm trying to say is right now. If you don't, here's why I think you're wrong in this area, and Larry David is wrong, and you two, and the both of you are my favorite people. You know that 1 and 2. I'm not going to say who's first.
That's fine.
It's Larry David.
I figured.
If you don't have people putting opposition in front of him in a manner in which he can bring his defense down a little bit and at least hear it, then all you have is an echo chamber of people telling him how great he is and how everything he's doing is right. And that is going to be far worse than if you actually have people coming to the table and saying, well, no, actually, Mr. President, I think this. And I think you should be thinking of it this way.
Yeah,
and these are the people that I represent. We need more of that in the White House, in Congress. We need more of that conversation instead of, let me just wrap it up. Instead of what you're describing and what the media does, which is got ya and showing moral superiority. Because right now, what the left really enjoys doing is showing how morally superior they are to this man, which is not an accomplishment. Almost everybody is morally superior than this guy.
Well, then there's my point. Two things. One, nobody is going to sit there and talk to him and be like, what you're doing is wrong. You should stop doing this. And he's going to go, yeah, you're right. I'm going to stop doing it. He has his roadmap, and it's not going to change.
I don't know if it's not going to change, but I agree with you.
If it changes, it's not going to be, it's going to, like with the tariffs. He flip-flops on those tariffs all the time, but he'll never admit he's wrong. He goes, oh, we're going to ease it up on the tariffs. But, because we're going to be nice. We're going to be nice. No, because it's not working and you're an idiot.
Well, can I interject something?
No, let me finish.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that chaos is just what he does. I think he's worrying about negotiating a deal. I think he wants an even trade out, and he's willing to do that either through tariffs or the threat of tariffs. And I think he's leaning more towards the threat and taking on and off. He thinks he's accomplishing what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's doing it. In fact, I don't think he's doing it. But then let me also say this: the Kilmer, Abrego, whatever. Okay, on the one hand, they're like, and this came from the administration. It's a clerical error, right? Was that what they were saying? A clerical error that he shouldn't have been.
Day 1 or 2, they said it. Right. It was a administrative error.
Administrative error. Thank you. I knew clerical was not right. Thank you. Administrative error. On the one hand, they go, it was an administrative error. And then on the other hand, they go, he was a MS-13 member. Well, which one is it? Like, either he's an MS-13 gang member,
my point.
And then you retract the administrative error part, or he's not, and it's an administrative error. It cannot be both, and they have not denied one of them.
You're making my point. Did you see what he did?
The second one was your point. Yes.
Did you see what he did? He held up a picture of the guy's hands, and it had tattoos on it, and he very poorly had MS-13 photoshopped on the guy's knuckles.
No, did he?
Yeah, and he truthed it out, and he said, "This is the guy MS-13," and he goes, "A guy who has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles, the letters MS-13," and you could look at it, and it's very obvious that it's not real. That's number one. Number two, they've shown dozens of pictures of the guy with his knuckles that it's not there. So I don't understand, and I don't know if he kept it up or not, but he blatantly lied and said the guy has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles, and this is who you want to bring back into the country. So it's him sitting in the White House in the Oval Office, holding up a picture like this, and it has the guy's knuckles. Yeah, here it is. See? And if you show the picture, it says it has a couple of.
I just love this. Take a picture. You know what we'll do? I got an idea. I'll hold the picture up. You take a picture of me holding the picture.
Yeah, and he says, you might think, okay, maybe he's labeling it like there's pictures or something, because on the knuckles there's like a picture of I don't remember. There's like a skull or this or that and that, and there's 4 things on his hand. I'm like, all right, maybe. But then in his truth thing, he says, with the word with the letters MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. So it's not like he's trying to pass it off as something. He literally said that's what it is, and it's incorrect and a Photoshop and absolutely fake. Did he apologize for that? No. So yeah, if you look at, there's better pictures, but yeah, okay. So on the knuckle, not on the finger, but right above it on the knuckle, he has MS-13. See that?
Yeah,
See how bad? Number one, it looks terrible. That
it does
it's
not look
like not
good.
doesn't look
Yeah.
like it's a tattoo. And then in his thing, he said like there's a specific line where he says this man has MS 13 tattooed on his knuckles, and it's like no, he doesn't. So I don't know what. And then he doubles. The administration doubles down. This guy's never coming back to the United States. They just are not giving in that it's a mistake and they should let the guy back in and due process. They're like, we can't. It's like you fucked up. If it's a fuck up, just say, yeah, we screwed up. We're getting them back. I don't know why they can't just say that.
I would like them to commit to one side. Either you made a mistake saying it was an administrative error, or
This is what they're doing. They're committing to he's MS-13 no matter what, and it's
hard. The
even
czar,
if he is MS-13, he deserves a trial.
well, this is why I don't want the Democrats rallying around this, because you don't know this guy. Nobody knows.
No,
this
we don't.
guy.
He could be very bad. Fine.
I think he is, because, by the way,
Could be.
there was a report. I mean, that report came out that his wife filed the thing that he was abusive.
Mhm.
They pulled him over in a car that had like 8 or 9 people in the car. He was clearly smuggling these people across the border.
Maybe he's a bad guy. Maybe he did all these crazy things.
That's why I wish they would just
You
let
need
this go.
a trial. Everybody gets due process. I don't care who you are.
But his argument, the administration's argument is, and again, this has been my point for this all along, the majority of the country voted for this, and you cannot have every single person sit for a trial. Nothing. It would be
Yes,
the same
you
amount
can.
of nothingness that would be going on.
So if one person is not given due process, that means everybody could not have due process. So if something happens to, let's say, God forbid, you're accused of something,
It's a different
they
thing.
could throw you in jail or deport you with no trial.
It's a different thing. I know.
It's not a different thing. Everybody gets due process. It's in the Constitution. This isn't a law that we just made up on a Tuesday that was like, maybe we'll get around to it.
Why
This is
on Tuesday? Why can't make good laws on Tuesday?
They can't make a good law. No law has been done on a Tuesday. That was good.
Seemed uncalled for on the Tuesday thing.
I didn't mean to rip on Tuesday. Tuesday's a fine day. But everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody in this country, if you're here legally or not, is entitled to due process. That is not negotiable. That is what
I know.
you get. You get representation, and you get a trial. If you did something wrong, or if you're innocent, it has to be proven in court. That's the basis of our whole democracy.
He's using
legal system.
And forgive me because I said the Alien and Sedition Act. I think it's that, but it's a different one. It's another one that they're using to expedite the process.
But it doesn't override the Constitution.
But here's the other. But okay, let me bring this up too. I'm sure I haven't looked at this, and I wish I would have before we started this. But I'm sure if I go back and look at Joe Biden's administration and President Obama's administration and the Clinton administration before that, I'm sure that people were deported without a trial.
If they were, that's wrong too. I'm not saying,
but but my point is, it's within the prowess of the President of the United States to use the laws at their disposal to protect the Constitution and the people of the United States of America. And so that's what this guy is doing. But because everybody just fucking hates him.
No, protect the Constitution. You just said it yourself. Protect the Constitution. He's so pro. What's it called? The Second Amendment. Like, you can't fuck with the Second Amendment. Second Amendment's law. That's it. We have to protect the Second Amendment. But the one that says due process, that one's kind of wishy-washy. We're not gonna totally, that's more of a guideline than a rule.
It's not though, because he's using it's not the Alien and Sedition Act. Because somebody, please put in the chat what he's the act that he is using. He's using an act. It's not like he's just doing
whatever the act is. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
So that's not nothing. It's a law of the land.
That was during number one. It was during war times. Number one. Number two.
Understandable.
It doesn't override the Constitution. You have trial. You have the law is the law. This guy is here legally, he's here legally. He wasn't illegal. He wasn't here illegally. And they just deport him. I mean, if he's a bad guy,
Well, he came
then
here
he's a bad guy.
He came here illegally, and then through a court judgment, he got a stay.
Okay.
So it's not like he legally came here, went through the whole process, became a citizen, and then was kicked out, then was thrown out. That's not what happened.
Was he, when they picked him up and deported him, was he illegal? Was he here legally?
He was allowed. Yes, a court ruled that he was allowed to stay.
Doesn't matter what he was 7 years ago, 10 years ago.
But he wasn't a citizen.
Doesn't matter. The Constitution doesn't say just to sit. No, it doesn't. The Constitution doesn't say only citizens get due process. It says every person in this country gets due process. I don't know the exact wording, but it says no matter if you're here legally or not, you get due process.
It says legally or illegally.
Look it up. I don't have it in front of me. I can't look it up because I'm talking on my phone.
We should look that up.
Look up the Constitution. Due process. Does it apply to people here legally or not? And it's everybody, no matter what you're doing. You're in this country. You get due process. That is the law, and that is the whole basis of our legal system. So once you take that away, then you can take it away from anyone, and it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing.
I know.
And we don't have a legal system.
I get it. I get it. And the worst thing that this orange Cheeto could have done was joke about, locking up the bad citizens or throwing out the bad citizens. That was the worst thing.
He wasn't joking. That's the problem. He's not joking. But he's serious about that.
No, see, that is the problem. I don't think he's serious about that. And I think he does that to light people up.
No, because every time we say, oh, he can't be, he's not serious about that. He does it. Every time we think he can't be, he's not going to do that. What are you talking about? He's not going to tariff everybody. That's his joke. He's not that stupid. And then he does it.
Oh, no, he's that stupid.
So that's what I'm saying.
He's definitely that stupid.
And then they asked him one day. I remember this interview. I don't know how long ago it was. You said this. Were you joking? He goes, No, I never. I never joke. I'm not joking. And so he's not joke when he says that. This was a hot mic, and he was talking to someone. He said, "Yeah, we're thinking of homegrown criminals. We're thinking of deporting them too. We're going to set up camps or prisons or whatever outside of the country, and we're going to ship them to." It's like, you can't do that. That's just not the way things work. And it's when people say, "Oh no, he's joking." It's a joke until he does it.
But do you think if he deported a citizen of the United States of America, do you think anybody would stand for that in reality?
You mean, what about all the shit we've stood for already?
I understand we've stood for some shit, but if he
nothing's getting thrown back in this thing.
Paul says, "And if you're taken, we can just ignore it then?" And the answer to that is yes. If I get taken, believe me, it ain't the punishment you think it's going to be.
I'm not fighting. I'll run this show myself. That's fine.
I will gladly live in one of those El Salvadorian prisons.
If you're picked up for a crime you didn't
commit from my kids right now, I will do. Okay, sorry.
If you're picked up for a crime you did not commit,
yes,
and they just say, "Oh, this is a bad guy. We gotta get rid of him. We just deport. We're gonna throw him in a camp. You never go," and then your family loses touch with you.
This would be the picture they show on the news. Look at him with that cap.
Look at this fucking thing. You think this is a good guy that would own this thing? So they would throw you away.
Yeah.
And then it would, even if you ever came back, it would be months. That's if you came back.
Yeah.
And there's no trial. So you don't get a lawyer. You don't get your day in court. You don't get to prove your innocence. You're just gone. And that's what's happening.
The second he does that to an actual citizen, the game is changed. It's a different story. And I don't think anybody would
say that every day.
I don't think.
Oh, he's not going to cross that line. But then he crosses it, and then it's move on to the next atrocious thing, and nobody cares about it anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he would cross that line, but I wouldn't totally rule it out. If he does, what I'm saying is nobody would stand for it. Congress, the Supreme Court, his cabinet, nobody would stand for it.
That's not true. I guarantee you that everybody. Listen.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you that all of his MAGA supporters in Congress, the Senate, everybody would be backing him 100%. Oh, this is the way he's got to run the country. Let him run the country. It's the way he's going to run the country.
Marjorie
Yeah,
Taylor Greene would be on his side. I agree with you.
100%.
He would definitely have his people.
All the Democrats would be like, "This is atrocious. You can't do that." But the problem is, we don't have the numbers in the House and the Senate, so we're the minority in there.
I'm sorry. Mercury wrote he can pass for a terror. I think she's talking about me right now, and that's offensive and hilarious. Very, very hilarious.
It's true though. No. I mean, look at that gang sign he has on his shirt. You think that's messed up? You can't have that.
No,
Or they'll just Photoshop some gang symbols on your face. Yo, look at these tattoos he has.
This is not a bit. There was literally a dryer sheet in my shirt.
But I bet you smell summer fresh.
I do. I just touched my shirt and I go, "What the fuck is that?" It was a dryer sheet. Okay. No, remember the guy who tried to light up a bomb in Times Square a bunch of years ago? I look exactly like that dude. We've talked about this before.
So they could scoop you up and just ship you out with no trial, and then someone who doesn't know you would go, "Well, he's got this alien whatever act, and he could just get rid of you no matter what."
Yep.
And then you're sitting there in some whatever prison in whatever country, going, "Up, yeah, I guess that act is in play, so nothing I could do. So I'm just gonna have to sit here and rot in the prison."
I know it stinks, but that makes it. That's why I defend it, because it makes a difference. There's a difference. But like I said, the second
why would you defend it though?
To a citizen, not that I'm defending it. Okay, I know I'm defending it in the argument, but my point is, I don't know this guy, and I don't want the Democrats rallying around somebody like this.
It's not the guy.
Absolutely blow up in their face.
It's not the guy. The guy could be maybe the guy's terrible. Maybe he's a bad guy. That's not the point. The point is,
but that is
Maryland, not Maryland. Charles Manson got a trial.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy got a trial. I don't care who you are, you get due process. That's the point.
But the difference is, he said he was going to do this. He ran on it and he won overwhelmingly. And
he could say I'm going to blow up whatever, he could say I'm going to drain the Atlantic Ocean of all its water in a speech. And just because he won the presidency, now he can do it? No, you can't just ignore the law and do something ridiculous because you said you were going to do it. You're not allowed. There are things that you're not allowed to do, even if you say you're going to do it.
You also can't ignore the people. And when you tell them, I'm going to deport these people, and by the way,
voting a guy into office doesn't make him king. He's not a ruler. He has to do things by the law. There are three branches of government that are equal power.
I agree, but when he has to, you're discounting the act that he is quoting to do all of this. You can't do that.
We're not in wartime. And this has nothing to do with any of that. This is just I'm just going to deport. You can't just do that.
Yeah, that wartime thing.
Also, the Supreme Court said, bring him back. And he said, nah. That just defied the Supreme Court.
That wartime thing is a little tricky because he basically said we're in a conflict, we're in a war with these people that
we're not at a war.
Illegally crossing the border.
Only the Senate Congress can declare war.
I know, and we spent 20 years in Afghanistan and no war was declared. So that's a fuzzy gray area on what's a conflict.
So then you can't start enacting laws that don't mean anything. You can't. I'm sure there were probably laws that said a black person can't go into these toilets. You can't just bring that back because it used to be a law. Because now that shit ain't part. It's not part of it's not part of the makeup of our country anymore. That's not the way it is anymore. You can't just bring back terrible, racist, awful shit because it used to be a law.
Right, but see that's a great point, and I don't have a retort for that. What you're ignoring are the people who want to go out and feel safe in their neighborhoods, and they don't view this as a bad thing. And I understand. And listen, I don't disagree with you from a standpoint of we do have to be really careful here, because this can get out of control very quickly. And I don't doubt that he could take it too far. And innocent people. Oh, by the way, I said this. I said this from the beginning. Somebody's going to get killed during one of these raids. It's going to happen.
What's to stop him? You know how he goes, "Oh, this these reporters, they hate me and they're untrue, and they're terrible, blah, blah, blah. What's to stop him from going the Putin route and just getting rid of or making people disappear, that reporters that he doesn't like?
Well,
What's to stop him?
He's starting, well, other reporters, hopefully, will be there to stop that.
Oh, do you mean there's a senator, or I don't know, there's a person in government who literally said, I'm afraid to defy Trump.
The Republican governor of Alaska, I believe.
So if a reporter disappears, what do you they don't know what happened to him, or Trump goes, oh, look, see, this is a bad person. Here's this doctored photo that we have, and it shows that they're a bad person, so we had to get rid of them. Why would I could see other reporters going, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to get deported.
How much time until Robin?
And this wasn't a big deal. Can you imagine this? You didn't even know about this.
I didn't even know about this. Now, how long until you think Robin photoshops the picture of me and the cat in place of the knuckles?
Yeah, right. But I'm telling you,
a bad person.
Any other presidency, this would have been This would have been a Nixon level scandal that would have brought him down.
Well, to be fair, he's wearing a navy blue suit, so it's not that bad.
That's true.
I love bringing that joke back.
It's yellow tie.
I love bringing that joke back. Yeah.
But honestly, if Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton, if any other president would have doctored a photograph as an excuse to deport someone, that half the country and the Supreme Court said bring back, he would have been impeached and gone.
Yeah, that is bad. I would love to see the photo of this guy's real knuckles to prove that
they're all over the place. They're everywhere.
All right, but why?
There's a million of them.
But even when I just Googled it just now, it says expert cast doubt on Trump's claim. Like, it doesn't say it's proven.
There's a million pictures of this guy's hands, number one. And number two, just look at the picture. It's not even a good Photoshop job. It's literally like computerized numbers.
It's not, but this is the problem with today. Where's the photo of his knuckles without it?
There's a million of I've seen them. Just go to images, Google images.
I'll go to images.
Go to the name, and then you see pictures of his knuckles. What did you type in the search? I don't even know what you searched for.
I typed in Garcia knuckle tattoo. Want me to do Kilmer?
That's fine. Whatever. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But there's a million pictures of the guy's actual hands, and the letters aren't there, but the rest of the tattoos are. I mean, it's not like this, but there are pictures of his hands.
Yeah. Well, the senator guy got to shake his hands. I wonder if he saw it.
Yeah. Plus, just zoom in on the picture that Trump
is this
held up.
Is this his left hand? That's his left hand.
His left hand. You're not going to see MS1 or 3 on his knuckles.
Okay, hang on.
All right, there's the picture. I don't know how clear that's going to be when you zoom in, but let's take a look.
It's definitely not there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's hard to see, but it doesn't.
Can you zoom in more?
Yeah, I can. I mean, yeah, I can. It's getting fuzzy because it's.
Yeah, it's just picture. He's got like a skull and another thing and another. He's got 4 pictures on his knuckles, but he doesn't have an M and S and a 1 and a 3.
There was another photo. See, but this one, he looks like it's hard to tell if this was pre.
Just look at the Trump picture. It's so obviously not a tattoo.
I'm not denying it. I'm just saying, like, it would be great if somebody could just put his current knuckles together, like right now. Here's his knuckles right now. Here's a picture of him holding his kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
this one is pretty. Again, I would love to. I don't know who put this up, but
there are a bunch of them. Yeah, there's another one there. There's a bunch of no. Yes, it's a picture of a marijuana leaf, a skull, and a couple
this is
other
probably
things.
the best one.
What is it? I can't even make it out. But the Trump photo is not even an attempt to make it look like a tattoo, but he's sitting there going, "Oh, look, he's got MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles." It's like, no, he doesn't. You're an idiot, and you're just flat out lying, and you'll never apologize for it, and you'll never say, "I was wrong. I got the wrong picture," or whatever. You'll never hear that again.
No,
and if someone asked him about it, he'd go, "You're fake news, and you're not a real person. I'm not going to answer your questions."
Yeah, no, this is bad. This somebody should take him to task for.
They're not going to. That's number one. And number two, even if they did, he'll skirt around it and he'll do something terrible in the next couple of days and no one will hear about it again. It'll just add to the list the millions of things that he's done that's just awful and terrible.
I stand by the administration needs to take one of those two things back. Either it was an administrative error or he deserves to be deported. Like, under the act that the president is acting under. It can't be both. It can't be both.
Well, whatever it is, he needs due process. I'm sorry. That's the end of it. You get due process, citizen or not.
Right, but I'll say this again. I'm certain I can find an example of Obama, Biden, Clinton, Carter.
Go ahead.
Deporting people without due process.
Please go ahead and find one.
I mean, how many times do they capture these people at the border and send them right back? I mean, it's not like they get a fucking trial if they're 5 feet.
They're not in the country yet, number one. Number two.
No, people that are in the country, people that have made it across the border.
What happens is you get across the border or whatever, you get picked up and what's it called? You get, if you claim asylum, you are, the problem is he's here legally, number one. And number two, you get a court date to decide whether or not you're here legally or your status or whatever it is, and that's it. You might have to wait your court date out.
All I'm saying is this is stuff that we've been doing in this country for a while, but because Donald Trump is doing it, it's the end of the world, and I don't agree with that.
Well, you're not. If that's something we've done, it's bad. I disagree with it. No matter what president did it. But the fact that it's happening now, and he wants to now deport citizens and whatever without due process is bullshit.
Whatever that guy just said was bullshit.
Cool. So that's what I'm saying.
Robin, who's been a member for 37 months, ladies and gentlemen, my God, 37 months, says Anthony is wrong. His points do not hold water.
Isn't that right?
Does the defense's case hold water?
No, the defense is wrong.
I watched that movie again. By the way, not to be outdone, Bird, also 37-month member.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, leading the pack.
Cool.
Those two.
If you're in this country, you get due process. You're seen by a judge, whatever the case may be. You get a representation, and you get a trial, and that's it. That's the end of it.
Listen, my whole point is, and I know I'm catching a lot of shit for being a Trump defender here, but my whole point is to look at this stuff objectively. And I don't think, Frank and I disagree from a standpoint of, things that matter more to me don't matter to Frank in this instance, and vice versa. Things that matter more to Frank don't matter to me. Is I look at he won. People, Latin people, Mexican Americans, people.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Came from this country, voted for him. We know they voted for him more.
Not arguing that
than anybody else. It's like this is what people wanted, and the mood of the country and the laws of the country, as I said last time, can bend and sway to what the people overall want, and the majority of the people wanted this.
He could have campaigned on saying, I'm going to, test nuclear missiles in every city in the country. And if everybody voted for that, doesn't mean he has the right to do it, because you just because you ran on it doesn't give you the right to do it.
But that's not as crazy as we're going to get the people who came here illegally. We're going to send them out.
Yeah, it might not be as crazy, but it's just as illegal. You can't do that. It's due process, number one. And number two, 9-0 Supreme Court said, bring him back. And he ignored it.
All right, Miss Justice is mad that I didn't read her comments. So I'm going back a couple comments to make sure I'll start here, Ms. Justice. Let me know if I got to go back further. Whatever happened to innocent is proven until proven guilty.
Thank you.
If you're worried about him being out on the street, order him held without bail in the U.S.
Sure.
Didn't he have a special order saying he shouldn't be deported to El Salvador? Well, that's what the judge, that was the stay that the judge gave him, that because he was supposed to be, and then the judge said, no, hold on. And I don't know what the ruling was there and why they said he could stay, or they held him but it wasn't like he's a citizen, he's here. It was more like, we'll hold off on this till a future date. You know what I'm saying? Again, if this person is a citizen, my argument is entirely different. My argument is this is wrong.
It shouldn't be, because look at the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't say citizen. Every citizen says every person has a right to due process. It's not a matter of legal or not legal. You're in the country. You get due process. That's the point.
Yeah. I'm not, Paul says Ant's playing us. I'm not playing anybody. I mean, this is how I wish I could look up.
I wish I could look up the amendment that says due process, because it doesn't say all American citizens get due process. It says all people.
I just feel like this election was a what do they call that? Mandate, whatever, memorandum, whatever, however you want to describe it. That people in this country during this past election, put morals aside for their own personal needs and wants, and in overwhelming numbers. And so
that doesn't matter. The whole country could want, to deport every podcaster. Doesn't mean you can do it. You can want $1 million. I can walk outside and say, I want $1 million. And if the guy I voted for says he's going to give me $1 million, doesn't mean he has to do it. He said he would, but doesn't mean he has to. And it doesn't mean it's legal for him to do it. Just because the people voted this guy in doesn't mean he gets to do whatever the hell he wants. Right.
But see, there's another side of this that I think Liz is talking about. What about all the legal immigrants who come here? What about them? The natural citizens who were born here, who have been here?
Sure. Right? What about them?
The administration is viewing this as they're protecting those people from the bad people that have come here to wreak havoc on this country.
Come here to wreak havoc. See, that's the other problem. He's vilifying an entire huge group of people.
Well, but
just
he's doing
because he wants them out of the country.
He's doing it carefully, right? He's saying he puts how many family members of people who have been killed or murdered or raped by
every group of people. Every huge group of people has bad people in it. That's going to happen. You're going to have, you have a huge country with hundreds of millions of people. You're going to have bad people that are, unfortunately, there are murderers. There are all these bad people. I get it, but you can't. The definition of racism is categorizing an entire group of people based on the actions of one or two. You can't.
That's not what he's doing. He's not saying Mexicans are bad. That's not what he's saying.
Literally how he started his campaign 9 years ago. Mexicans are pouring into our country. They're rapists. They're murderers. A few of them are good, but rapists. He literally opened his fucking political career with that.
He threw the few of them line in there.
That he's covered. Why would he? So I mean, he's literally vilifying an entire group of people crossing the border. He's making them out to be these horrible people when the vast majority just want to leave the country for a better life. There might be a few bad ones that suck and are terrible, but you can't say all these people are terrible. You just can't. That's not the way it works.
I don't even think it's about that. It's about the drain on resources that occur when you have people here not legal, not paying taxes, not into the system, all that.
Okay, a few things with that. How about the millionaires and billionaires who don't pay taxes? Nobody seems to give a shit about that.
I agree with you there. I bring that up all the time, though, don't I?
Also, the migrants who come here, and maybe some of them aren't in the system and don't pay taxes. Yeah, that's might be wrong, but they also contribute to the workforce. to the economy as well. You take all of a sudden, you uproot millions of people and get them out of the country. That's a huge blow to the economy. Billions of dollars that would have been spent in our economy that aren't anymore. People who buy food and buy
but
products.
I could also make the argument that you keep letting that labor in illegally and you're keeping down workers' wages in this country. That people who are here legally working cannot rise above a certain amount because the labor from an illegal immigrant not paying taxes is dragging them down.
What do you mean the labor? It's not like you're
okay. I've been through this personally myself. If I have to hire somebody to paint my house,
yeah,
I can go to a company that pays their employees and has health insurance for their employees and does all this stuff. That stuff costs money. So that quote that I'm going to get from that painting company is going to be a lot higher than the person who came here illegally and is like, oh, I'll do it for X amount because it's more money for me. I don't have to pay the taxes. I'm not, whatever. And this is
but if something
so,
happens, it's on you and you're fucked.
Well, I
so
understand
you're taking risks either way.
But this stuff happens all the time, which has long been the theory of why both Democrats and Republicans, because administration after administration, people have been piling over that border, have been allowing this to happen because the big business interests want that to come in and keep wages down.
I'm not saying that being here illegally is just fine. You have to, I get it. But if you're here already and you're getting citizenship or it's in the process or even if you're not, you still deserve rights. You have rights. And it's not.
I haven't heard him say or do anything to people who have applied for citizenship and are waiting through the process. I don't hear.
Well, this guy was here legal. Was fine. This guy was in the middle of something. He was not here. He was not illegal.
He came in illegally. No, I don't think that's.
Well, whatever he did, that happened, and then he got past that. Right? He was here illegally at the time he was picked up. He had paperwork that he could be here.
He had paperwork saying that because there was an order to deport him, and then the judge put that on hold. That's two different things. It wasn't like he was here. He applied for citizenship and he was here, and then it went awry. By the way, I mean, this is an administration that just got rid of that other person on a green card because she spoke out against Israel.
Exactly. That's you're proving my point. They just deported someone because she spoke out against that. That's the slippery slope we're on here. You just start deporting people that you don't agree with, and what the fuck are you doing? You destroy the country. You get rid of your enemies.
They're in their rights to revoke the green card of anybody that poses a threat to whatever.
I was writing a paper about how bad the administration is a threat.
No, it wasn't about the administration. She was writing about Israel. It was
Israel.
An anti-Semitic thing.
It was anti-Jewish people.
Well, it was not very kind on allowing them to have their own country. Basically, it was.
I don't know what she wrote, but the point of that is, if she did something threatening or hate speech or whatever it is, she should have been tried or she should have been brought up on charges or arrested or whatever the case is, or charged with something. If she's doing something illegal, you get charged, and then the sentence is carried out after that. That's the process. I don't care who you are or what you did, you get due process.
Liz says our government was giving them, she means legal immigrants, money and not our homeless or vets. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this happened in New York, right? Where basically the mayor had to say, hey, we're running out of money. We're putting people up. And when they started busing people up here, it was like, this is a strain on the city's resources. They do have homeless people to care after. There are veterans. There's tons of other things where money could go to. And now it's going.
You mean the veterans that they just laid off, thousands of them, because Elon Musk just went in with a fucking chainsaw? Those veterans? Are those the ones you're worried about? Because I don't hear any buzz about that anymore. Where's your concern over those veterans? They are now out of a job because some asshole said, we don't need you anymore. So yeah, when my heart's bleeding for you when all of a sudden out of nowhere you're like, oh, the veterans, we got to watch out for those veterans. Well,
Yeah.
maybe go back a couple months and fix that first.
By the way, Elon is very persona non grata. We haven't seen hide nor hair of him, and I didn't actually get to read the whole article, but supposedly he had a fight with the commerce secretary or something. He had a fight with one of the secretaries, like in a hallway. It was pretty public.
Good. Let them just eat each other. And by the way, yeah, going off of Paul. Oh yeah, the vets we could house if billionaires pay taxes. Absolutely, Paul.
I
Okay,
agree with that.
if billionaires paid taxes, most of these issues that Anthony brought up or everybody brought up would be solved. We would be way better than we were. And then we would imagine if a guy who makes $250 billion or who is worth that much paid his fair share in taxes. That's billions of dollars a year that could be spent on.
I agree with that.
I mean, so what the fuck are we talking about? I mean,
I think the difference.
Yeah.
I think the difference for me is the Democrats for 4 years acted like this was no big deal, and it turns out that it won the election for the guy. So clearly, it's a big deal to a lot of people in this country, and that gets discounted by Democrats today. And I look at them continuing to make the same mistake by defending this one particular. This guy has become the face of this, and it's a bad look for Democrats, in my opinion. Because it's another loser for the Democrats. They just got to figure out a different way around this.
I know, but it's the Democrats' messaging is.
Do you disagree with what I just said?
No, what I'm saying is the Democrats' messaging has always been bad. I don't know why they can't get their act together.
I agree with that, but I don't think this is a messaging issue. This is we're ignoring this issue altogether and acting like it's fine. When
what do you mean? The Democrats are ignoring this issue.
The Democrats ignore. Frank, the President Biden didn't raise this issue until year 4.
Wait, what are you talking about? Which issue?
Immigration. For the first 2 years,
immigration's been an issue since the beginning of time.
I know, but if you look at the Biden administration, when he got in, they were like, "Oh, he rolled back a lot of the shit that Trump put in place because he wanted to be a hero to his base." And then it turned out that we had the most illegal crossings in those 2 years.
Yeah, but what the Democrats were doing was the difference between that administration and the other one is the Democrats were leaning towards compassion and saying, okay, you're coming in, we're going to help in some way. And half the country hates that for some reason. And it was like, no, my money, and we can't, and I can't afford anything. And it's like, no, you can. And the government shells out money all the time and bails shit out and bails banks out. They could probably help here. So what the Biden administration and the Democrats are saying is, yeah, but we don't have to separate families and put them in cages and shit. So let's get rid of that. And maybe we could enforce some. Oh, by the way, we could send some more funding down to the border. Let's do that. Great idea. Oh, wait a minute. Trump just told all the Republicans not to vote for it. Oh, shit. So now there goes that. So when the Democrats tried to come up with a solution or help for the border, Republicans shot it down because it wouldn't look good for them and Trump would have nothing to run on. So once the Republicans shot down the Democrats' let's save the border bill, that gave Trump, oh, look, see, they're screwing up the border. So when you say the Democrats didn't do anything to help the border, that's a lie. Not that you lied. I'm saying that that's not true. That's false.
Everything that Frank just said is 100% correct, and I agree with it.
So, I mean, you try, but I don't understand.
It doesn't take away from the fact that for the first 2.5 to 3 years, they did nothing, and it was really bad because what Trump wound up doing was he said, "Oh, okay, get me the mom of the little girl that was raped and killed by an illegal immigrant. Give me the sister of somebody who was," and he paraded. But he paraded all these people on the campaign trail, and everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's looking out for us," and that's why.
I get it. I get that.
The biggest mandate was not pro-Trump, but it was more the country saying we're done being the moral authority in the world,
which is horrible. We're number one. We're the leader of the free world. We're the biggest economic power. We're the biggest military power. We're literally the leaders of the world. And all of a sudden, we're going to drop our morals. We're going to be like, no, fuck that. And now everybody. I remember when we were on vacation in Europe, there was a woman from I think she was from Prague. We were talking to about this was right after the election, right after Trump won.
Tough spot.
And
Tough place to be out of the country.
We
Having
were
to
out of the
speak to
country
other
during the
people
election.
about your country.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
So we're talking to this woman who was born and raised in Prague. She was on vacation, the same vacation we were on. And she said, the rest of the world looks to America for its leadership. When we see something going wrong in America, the rest of the world is unstable, and we know that there's a huge problem. So when we drop the ball, when America is no longer the powerful leader in all of these things, it makes the world unstable. And the rest of the world's like, what the fuck's going on? So we have to be moral, because if we drop morals, then the rest of the world says, oh, all right, I guess we can lax on some laws as well, and we could treat people like shit, and we could deport or fuck up anybody we want to, and nobody's going to say anything. So
I don't disagree with you. I prefer America to be a moral authority in the world. I prefer that, but I don't get to decide that. The country does, and right now
and we're in a fucked up place right now.
And by the way, this isn't the first time America first has been a thing. American isolationism has been an issue before. A lot of people. That's why we didn't get involved in World War I right away. Because of that.
Well, typically it's a very
or World War II. I'm sorry. Which one was Pearl Harbor? That was World War II. Okay, that's why we didn't get involved in World War II right away. And all the stuff that led up to the First World War and then eventually World War II is because we were like, well, that's Europe. That's their problem. That they have to deal with that.
That's changed. Things have changed. We've gotten involved in Ukraine. We don't have troops on the ground, but we're funding Ukraine. And
it changed. It changed during World War II. Is when it changed. That's when NATO and all this stuff happened.
Because you fuck with America, you fuck with one of our allies, you fuck with us. Yes. That's the way it should be. Yes. And when we turn our backs on our allies, our friends, and if you want to go the Republican way, our trading partners and our money, you turn your back on all that, you're gonna fuck everything up, and it's gonna not be good. Because number one, we're screwing our friends. They're not gonna be there for us when we need them, and we're gonna ruin our relationships trading wise.
Well, that's exactly what's happening. Everybody's happening? Spain and all these people are reaching out to China and this one and that one. Be like, all right, well, if we can't get it from America,
shooting ourselves in the foot. You're shooting us in the foot in an effort to go, oh, we're America first. It's like, well, how about people first? Why America
doesn't feel the country doesn't
take care
feel
of America?
Way, right?
Totally take care of America. I get it, but when people are hurting, we've been a big help around the world. We send, disaster relief to different places all around the world, and that's what we're known for that, and that's why America has or had the reputation that we've had. But now in 2-3 months, it's destroyed.
But the country goes through moods, and the mood of the country at the moment right now is we've taken care of people long enough. We got to take care of ourselves for a little bit. It's the pendulum swinging back the other way. And I think and this is why I talk this way, because the Democrats got into too much of a moral superiority complex.
When is morals a bad thing?
It absolutely can be a bad thing. It absolutely can be a bad thing. Well, I'll tell you why. I get mad at the pronoun people, right? Because I feel that transgender people are people like anybody else. I'm not one of these people that think there's only 2 genders and that's it. I don't think that that's right. Right? But the asshole out there that it's like, where's your fucking pronouns? Or why don't you have fucking pronouns? Or that whole, if you don't get along with this, you're a piece of shit, has driven these people to a point where Now we have the administration that we have, and now those people, the transgender people, are suffering because the Democrats and the liberals want to point at everybody else and show, look at how wrong they are and how much better I am because I feel this way. And that has blown up in their face because people don't want to be told what to do and how to live. It's an American principle of like, let me have my freedoms. And especially Republicans love that shit. And then they're going to have a negative reaction to it as they have had. And now we find ourselves in this boat.
Yeah, but you're all the Republicans are let people live but that's the point. They're not letting people live the way they want to live. That's
Correct.
the opposite of what's happening.
Correct.
The Republicans or Republican or conservative people who are against transgender people are sit there and go, oh, let people, little government, and let people live their lives and don't tell me what to do. Well,
but
you're telling other people what to do. You're telling trans people what to do.
Right.
So that's hypocrisy right there.
It is hypocritical. But at the same time, you're talking about a party that put the transgender issue front and center when the amount of actual people that it affects in the country is very, very little.
How do you know? There could be trans people that don't come forward because they're afraid.
There could be, but that number out of 375 million people that live in this country,
it's a small percent. Absolutely is. But doesn't mean they should be swept under the rug.
No, but it doesn't mean that it should have been an issue, as big of an issue in that party as it was. That's why they lost.
First of all, the Republican Party are the ones that keep bringing it up.
Yeah, because it was there's the same way they double down on
they don't
defund the police. But it's the same. If you're stupid enough to start bringing up that shit, like defund the police, then of course your opponent's going to use it against you.
But trans people just want to live their lives, and they're just going about their day and doing what they're doing. And then it's the right that is going.
They want to take our guns and our freedom.
Well, it's the right that's going, you can't go to the bathroom here. You have to look like a man, or you have to look like a woman. You can't do this. You can't do that. Stay away from these people. These people are freaks. These people are mentally challenged. It's like they don't stop. They don't let people live their lives without harassing the shit out of them. And it's like, we're not the ones shoving everybody down. They're just, trans people just living it. They're not shoving it down their throats.
It started with liberals. It started with liberals going out and shaming people over where's your pronouns. Like,
that's incorrect. There may be a few extreme people that are like, if you don't do what I do, then you're wrong. There may be that, but the vast majority and the message of the Democratic Party, I feel, is trans people are just like everybody else, and they just want the same rights. So you don't have to put pronouns in your profile or whatever, but you have to at least acknowledge a person's existence. If this person was born a man and is now a woman, or is born a woman and is now a man, it's right to acknowledge their existence as that person. Why is that such an extreme problem for people to just simply acknowledge a person's right to be who they are? That to me is like, what fucking business is of yours if I'm a man or a woman? That has no effect on you at all, other than now instead of calling me sir, you call me ma'am, or vice versa. That's the only effect it has on you. So
listen, it. I think if I walked up to somebody and somebody said to me, hey, sir, and I said, ma'am, I think they'd be like, oh, okay, sorry, ma'am. I don't think that would be an issue. It's this gang mentality of everybody has to do this. And if you don't, it's not that you're not accepting, but you're a sexist and a bigot. I mean, let's be honest. We criticize Meghan Markle, right? Mm-hmm. Mostly these are jokes. Okay. Yeah. I think everybody knows I don't really give a fuck. Like, I hope she has a wonderful life with her husband and her kids. I don't give a shit. Like, I just, I don't want to watch her show. I don't wish bad on her. I make a big deal out of it because I want to be entertaining, right? But I really do not want her to have a pot. I would love for her to go away, but I don't want her to die. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, right? I mean, I think she should reap what she sowed, which is a lot of bad things. But we say these things and you go through our comments, you're sexist, you're misogynist, you're racist. I mean, the balls of somebody to just jump online and go, look at these two old racist white guys. That's the party. That's people. And I know you're a lot more forgiving, but the party has lost its way because they are not. They're obsessed with having the high moral ground against a lot of other people.
It's not just that. Because if you look at our leaders, look at what's a fucking face asshole, Nancy Mace or whatever the fuck her name is. Nancy something, the one that's very anti-transgender, the woman maybe she's a senator, a congresswoman, I don't know, congresswoman.
Okay, yeah,
Nancy Mace, I think her name is.
Okay, somebody will have it.
She was in a committee meeting, and she used a slur against a transgender woman, and she repeated it 1,000,000 times. She said, "Yeah, blah, 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 blah," and she just kept saying it in an effort to be a bully. So this is the leadership that the right has in place right now, and it trickles down. That's the kind of stuff that people see and they go, oh, I guess that's okay, we could do that. And then she literally put on her page, on her Twitter page, a video as if it's something she should be proud of and everybody should love, of her talking to a transgender woman. And the transgender woman was like, I think you should apologize for using this word or for you saying something. And she goes, wow, how do you feel about the word blah, blah, blah? And she said it like 5 times in her face. She's like, and you should have seen this person was like, Jesus, what the, she just yelled it in her face. Like, how could you do that? This is the kind of bullshit that for some reason now is more acceptable in this administration. It's like, it's because this asshole made it more acceptable to be an awful person, and now it's just everywhere and it's out in the open, and now everybody's just like, oh, I don't care, I'm gonna make fun, you know what, I'm gonna make fun of you for who you are. Or I thought we were trying to get past all that. I thought we were like content of character instead of what you look like, or so why are we going backwards? This I feel like this administration and the leaders are taking us backwards.
Yeah. I just think it's, it's like the abortion issue, right?
Oh, all right. We're going to get down another rabbit hole. So go ahead.
I'm saying for the Republicans, it was always a loser, right? It was always a loser. They were on, what they felt was the moral side, right? Who wants to kill an innocent unborn baby? Nobody does. Right? Nobody does.
Well, to be clear, the abortion issue and the trans issue are not related.
No, but what I'm saying is that was their loser. Like, they stuck by what they felt was right, morally right, and it was a loser for them as a party. It was a loser because every Democrat would bring it up and they would look like assholes.
Yeah, but eventually they won.
But they won because Trump softened the party line on this issue, right? What did he do?
They won because he stacked the courts with Republican right-leaning judges, and then they fucking threw out Roe v. Wade. That's why they won.
Understandable. But he also said that he spoke to other Republicans and he said, this is a loser issue, and unless you allow exceptions for rape and incest and whatever the bullshit was that he said, he's like, you're never going to win an election. And
that's not happening.
But that's 1,000,000% correct. But that little, let me see if I can get them to accept this, was the difference between them just going, I don't believe in this, and them going, oh, okay, well, we do want to win an election, so we got to back this guy. Because Trump was never would you disagree with this statement that Trump was in line with the typical Republicans before he ran for president the first time regarding abortion?
No, he was a Democrat years ago.
Of course. So he changed the perception of the party regarding that issue. And it's the same thing that the Democrats need to do, because no matter what happens, transgender issues are a loser for them because a majority of their party are not transgender people.
doesn't mean we should abandon it. It's
It
it's
does.
still a group
It
of
doesn't
people that
mean
need
it doesn't mean
help.
that we should make transgender people feel less than. That I agree with, but they need to get away from this issue altogether and go back to working class people.
Well, two things. One, Democrats aren't bringing it up these days. It's Republicans bringing
they
it
got
up.
their asses kicked over
Well,
it.
whatever. And two, I forget what two was, but I forgot. It went right out of my head.
It was good.
The thing with abortion is I don't think Trump didn't win anything because of the abortion issue. I think it was a tack on to his whole administration. It was like, I'm going to win, get into office, promise you all these things, immigration, all this stuff. And then when I get into office, number one, none of it, I'm going to do none of it. And number two, abortion came later. Abortion was he had nothing to do with it. I mean, he did it because the judges did it. He put in these judges, and the judges did it. There was no vote. There was no. This is my big thing I'm running on. That wasn't even the thing. It was, I'm just going to do it because a lot of people want the states to do it, which is a lie. He went out there and said, "Oh, the states want to decide themselves. They want to give the power back to the states," which is not what the majority of the country wanted.
Frank is very right here. That was an absolute bullshit lie. I don't know where that came from.
So no matter what, he'll just lie to make himself seem like he's in the right when everybody knows. That's another issue. Like, more of this needs to happen. When he gives these press conferences or these talks in the Oval Office, there needs to be more real time calling out on his bullshit. Like, if he says, "Oh, my poll numbers are 97%. I'm the best in the world, and everybody knows it, and we're winning in this and winning that," there needs to be a reporter there. I know it's hard to do in real time because he says 40 lies in one sentence. So, but if there was a reporter there or someone behind the scenes fact checking him, just go, "Hey, Mr. President, you just said this, but the actual fact is this." When that happens, the rare occasion that happens, that he gets called out in real time, how flustered he gets and how thrown off. It's like a boxer getting thrown up against the ropes. That's what we need more of. We need more people in real time calling him out on his bullshit, because it only gets called out hours later when he's already moved on to the next thing.
Yeah. Robin says Trump's poll numbers should be skyrocketing. Then oh wait, they're not. His numbers are starting to soften big time because he's not handling the tariff thing, and the economy is not.
Economy is tanking. The immigration thing is a losing battle. He's not doing anything more or less. He's not doing anything more in terms of numbers than any past administration has done in immigration. He's not doing anything at the border. He's not. There's nothing. Has he been to the border? Does he have a border czar? Have they been to the border? He's not doing anything in terms of that. He's golfing every other day or every third day or whatever. He's golfing more than any other president. Now, but other than that.
Yeah, I disagree with this. Do not take Anthony's advice, Democrats. I am trying to help the Democrats. I'm trying to focus on what matters and what's important. I don't agree with everything this administration has done. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them the 100 days. Like I just said, the economy is not going, even though he said it would be a little rough at first. I think people are like, yeah, but you could have handled this all a lot better than what you're doing.
I think we've gone 100 days. I think it's been 100.
No, I don't think it's been 100 days yet. We're close to it. We're super close to it. Yeah, we're super. And you're starting to see, and that's why I said 100 days. And I always say this. I said it for Biden. I've said it for everybody. You got to give him 100 days.
But just look at where we are, close to 100 days later. The economy's in the toilet. The stock market is in the toilet. He's deporting people that don't deserve to be deported. He's insulting all of our allies. He's blaming the Russian war on the Ukraine instead of Putin. He's trying to give up parts of the Ukraine so that Putin gets a little more land. He's trying to take over Greenland and Panama for some stupid reason. He's calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America for no reason. I mean, he's literally, everything he's doing is terrible, and it's only been 90 days. I mean, give me a break. What good has he done?
Well, like I said, you get 100 days and then you get a little bit longer and then the campaigns start for the midterms, really. I mean, way too early, but they do. And so we'll have a better idea of what the
I
mood of the
can't wait.
country is then.
I can't wait for the midterms. It should be once a year.
But I think I'm helping Democrats because I would like them to get off of these things, and they don't seem to be willing to do that, And again, I think Kilmer Abrego Garcia that's a losing battle, man. Just get the fuck off of it. I think the Democrats should get off of that one.
It's the problem. The problem with getting off of that is it's a slippery slope. Then he could just deport anybody with no.
When he does, you know what? If you're a Democrat, you're almost hoping let him deport a real citizen because then you have him dead to rights. He has nothing to lean back on.
No, because we've said that a million times. Oh, we've got him dead to rights this time. Oh, we've got him, and he skates by. He openly defied the Supreme Court. Just flat out ignored them, and we're sitting there going, "Oh, we got him." Here we are going with our thumbs up our asses, going, "No, we don't have anything because nobody's done anything. There's no action being taken."
No, he's done
keeps getting away with it.
He's done some stupid. The transgender mice thing. He did not get away with that. Everybody knows it was transgeneric, whatever it was. Mice. Mice were being studied for whatever, and he said that in an address to Congress. Transgender mice. He was wrong, and everybody knows.
And he didn't apologize for it. He didn't take it back, and nobody cares anymore.
He doesn't need an apology. No, I don't think. No, I think everybody remembers that as being a really.
I didn't remember it until you just brought it up.
Well, because you're so obsessed with all the other stuff he does.
That's because he does a terrible thing every 2 days. You go to Twitter, you go to the news, and there's another fucking horrific thing, and it's like, well, how many things can I hold in my brain of all these terrible things?
I think if you weren't so obsessed over the little things like this,
these are not little things.
It would be easier to keep focus on the big things, which is where he's making mistakes. By the way, I've been pro student loan forgiveness. We have student loans in this house, right? To be fully open and transparent. The college student loan thing was a scam. It was a scam from the beginning. And he comes out the other day and he goes, no, well, Joe the plumber shouldn't have to pay for, so-and-so's liberal arts degree and blah, blah, blah. And that's not what happened, and they're like, pass the buck.
He lied?
Big time. Time.
Who could have saw that coming?
And the administration tried to pass it off as, again, it's for the people. We don't want the American people to pay for other people's mistakes.
Here's what he said. He'll go on TV, he'll lie. Everybody who supports him will believe exactly what he said, and that will just turn. So it doesn't matter what he says. He just says stuff, and that's it.
But the problem with this is there's a lot of people. I don't think it's a majority, but there's a lot of people that were told if you go to college, you will get a better paying job. And then they were told, if you can't afford it, don't worry, take out a loan and you can just pay it back. And they went through that process and they realized, the way these loans are structured and the jobs that used to be there that are no longer there, and the fact that wages are not going up and all this stuff, I can't pay this back and I'll be paying this forever. And a lot of those people are going to remember that this was the guy who shut the door on them to get them out from under this when he could easily. No, I'm telling you it'll be there.
But that's the thing. That's one thing that affects a group of people. Then you have another thing that affects a different group of people. Then you have another horrific thing that affects the trans people. Then you have another thing that affects the LGBT. There's a million. There's all these things that affect groups of people, big or small, and they all add up. But since until he does, like he's affecting the tariffs are affecting farmers. They're affecting the working class people across the country. And I think he doesn't give a shit because this is his last term, maybe. And that's another thing. He wants to go around the Constitution.
He does not. He doesn't. He doesn't.
What are you talking about?
In my heart of hearts, this man will not run again. Okay. By the way, Bannon has said he will run again. All these people have said it. He has not said he wants to run for another
say that
term.
now. Why would he say that now?
I don't think
He's
he
not
wants
going
to.
to say that until he can make it a thing.
I don't think he wants to.
Guarantee it. No, he would want to simply to stay out of jail. Once he's out of office, he's open to all kinds of shit. So if he stays in office, he doesn't have to do it. He could keep making him and his friends rich, and he could just avoid legal prosecution. So why wouldn't he want to stay in power?
I don't hate your
He could
argument
golf
here.
every day, and it doesn't matter.
I don't hate your argument here, but I just, in my heart of hearts,
I know you want to believe he won't. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He wants to be president until the day he dies.
It's not what I want to believe. I don't think he wants to be. I think in my mind, I feel like he got his ass burned losing in 2020.
Oh, he didn't lose. It was rigged.
And all he wanted to do.
That's the thing. He didn't. So that's another thing. He's not going to admit defeat.
But he did say it. He did say it by accident before he pulled it back. If you remember that one, I forget where he was, where he said he lost.
Yeah, he might not believe what he says, but he'll go out there and he'll defend to the death. Oh, it was rigged. They rigged it. But when I win, then it's not rigged.
I like this from Paul Ant, the Trump whisperer. Yeah, let me tell you what's going to happen. I don't think anybody could be a whisperer for this guy. He's crazy. But I really believe, and this is why I believe this, is because even at the fucking Easter egg hunt, he was like, Joe Biden's Easter bunny wasn't as good looking as this Easter bunny. Like, he
can't stop
hung up on it. He cannot, like, all he wanted to do was win again. And the second he got that.
But what would be better than him doing something that no other president has done since it was put in the Constitution, is do a third term. There's only one other president that did that, and it was before it was in the Constitution.
That's right.
So
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he.
I think he wants to do it for two reasons. One, he wants to stay in power and keep doing.
I don't think he does,
and keep shaping the country the way he sees it. That only benefits him and his friends.
I think
number two is to avoid legal problems. Go ahead.
I think he believes his own bullshit when he said he was going to fix everything. Remember when he said he was going to fix everything in like 100 days or whatever he said it was?
I believe he said that just to get elected. He had no plan for any of it. Just like we have concepts of a plan. He has no plans for any fixing of anything. So he'll say, "Oh, we're gonna take care of healthcare, no problem. Yeah, got it. Right, let me write that down. Got it." Yeah. So he gets elected, and fuck you. I don't give a shit. I'm elected. You can't get rid of me for 4 years. So he'll say whatever he needs to say to get elected. Now he's elected. Give it another 2-3 years, and he'll start looking. They're already. Bannon said we're already looking into a possible way that we could give him a third term.
I don't think Trump wants any part of it.
He's not going to come out and say it now because he has 4 more years to fight that off. He's not going to say it now because if he says it now, he'll have to defend it for 4 years.
Exactly. And I don't think he even wants those assholes talking about it. I don't think he wants them talking
Probably
about it.
Not.
It hurts what he is trying to do, but he also doesn't want to be a lame duck president, which the little threat in the air of he might keep going keeps everybody honest that that he's not lame duck, because you get into those last 2 years of an end of a term and it's hard to get shit done after those midterms pass. And then you have nothing. People are like, you have no value to us anymore.
That's another reason why he's probably going to want to keep going. I'm telling you, his last thing he wants to do is hand over his power. That's the last thing he wants to do is to shake a new president's hand, a Democratic president's hand, or whoever, and say, "Yeah, it's all yours."
I don't know. I don't think he wants.
He couldn't do it 4 years ago.
You could. Well, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like a year from now we're not going to see or hear from him as much as we have in these first 100 days.
I don't think it's going to stop for the next 4. The way we've been going. He's going to come up with something new every other day. That's terrible.
How much is that as him versus there's the Democrats still not being able to handle? He's mind fucking this entire party, and they still can't get over it. The party, the Democrats can't. Every little thing he does is a whole huge thing.
Well, my frustration with the Democratic Party is everybody, all the Congress people and senators, they're all on Twitter or on their platforms or wherever they are. And they're going, "Do you see what he did? This is outrageous. This is outrageous. How could he get away with it? How could he do this?" And I just want to yell at them and go, then do something. Why is no one stopping this? Why is no one bringing these problems up? Well, they bring them up. They bring them up on the Senate floor and the House floor, and they go, "Oh, it's basically just a shouting match back and forth. Oh, this is what he's doing. This is what he's doing." But they have it's like they are powerless to do anything about it. They're where are the legal consequences? Why aren't they? Or if there are legal consequences, why are they taking forever? He's doing this thing. By the time he's done with it, we're on to the next thing. And it's another horrific thing that we got to draw up legal consequences for. And when is that going to happen? Oh, years from now, maybe. But it's like, this should be an immediate, there's action when something bad happens. But there's no action.
What'd you think the other day of David Hogue saying that he's going to primary Democrats who are not helping? Did you see that? David Hogue,
No.
for people who don't know, David Hogue was one of the survivors of Parkland, I think. He was in Florida.
Yeah.
And then he got named to some position or role in the Democratic National Committee. And over the weekend, he made a lot of noise saying that he's going to primary Democrats. He not in districts where there's a chance that they could lose a seat. So if it's close, he's not going to primary a Democrat against, a Republican if there's a chance of losing a seat. He's talking about Democrats who are in Democrat areas who are going to win, but who haven't done anything in the last 20, 30 years. That he's going to, his goal is to target those Democrats and primary them out of a seat.
I'm fine with that as long as the person that he backs is another Democrat who's going to do something.
Well, why wouldn't it be a Democrat? He's
and I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. That sounds good to me. Get more Democrats in positions of power that can do something. Fine. I see no problem with that.
What'd you think about AOC and Bernie flying around their private jet on Earth Day, talking about, how all the environmental issues we have?
Yeah, that's a little weird. I'm not for that. I mean, if your whole thing is the environment, yeah. I mean, how do you safely transport senators or people, people like that from one state to another?
It's a tough look.
Can they fly commercially? If they can, and it's safe for them to do so, then yes, they probably should.
Ted Cruz flew commercially. That motherfucker was on Frontier or Southwest or one of those cheap ass airlines.
And that should be the way they go. Yeah, I'm against that too.
They're out there on the oligarchy tour and how bad it is, and then they fucking go on a private jet that costs $75,000 a flight. It's ludicrous. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't like that either. That's terrible.
It's fucking
stupid. And that's the difference. I could say that. I could criticize my own party. I could criticize people that do something wrong. But the other side is like, oh, if Trump did it, he's got a reason for it. It's not wrong.
Why do I criticize the party? Everybody calls me a Trump lover. Somebody said, who said call me a Trump whisperer before? That wasn't it.
Well, you kept defending all this shit that he was doing.
I'm not listen, because there's credence to some of the things, right? You don't have him as dead to rights as people think. But I will say, and I think I've made this clear. I want to say it again if I haven't. He is waning. It's starting to run its course a little bit, right? The tariffs and the economy and all that stuff. Like, I don't think he's going to have this massive support 4 months from now, because
I can't wait.
Because you look at all the small here's the other thing that people aren't talking about. The small businesses, which a lot of the country is small businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can't move manufacturing for their little products outside of Indonesia and China and India and all these other places that they're at. Like, I have seen one small business owner after the next go online and go, okay, I make shoes, I make gowns, I make this or I make that, and I design it here. But there's no factor, there's no, capacity here for these things. And, it's one thing for Apple with billions and trillions of dollars in the bank to start building a factory and have it up and running in 6 months to a year. Sally, the shoemaker, can't fucking do that, you know?
Nope. No, she cannot.
What do we do with these people?
Exactly. That's the problem. He's screwing over regular people, regular working class people.
And he's causing a lot of chaos, and there's a lot of money fluctuation. Oh, here's the other thing that people are saying now. all the money in the stock market, right? The stock market's going down. I don't know what it did today, so don't quote me on today, but it's up, it's down, it's this, it's that. Overall, they feel like they still, I forget, there was still a whole bunch of money missing from the economy that it's not there anymore, right? Because people are pulling out. That money's going into France. It's going into Europe. It's going into other markets. Like, that money didn't disappear. It's just not being invested in the American markets. It's going elsewhere.
Yeah.
Same way our friends and allies are going, all right, well, if we can't buy the whatever, if we can't sell it to Americans, or we can't get this from America, they're going to tariff us, then where can we get it from? And they're going to go to China and all these other places.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't think he's got a plan for that. And I worry about the Republicans who are relying so heavily on this. But it's a fucking tough spot to be in. But I feel like his numbers are waning a little bit, not his overall numbers, because he's still higher in approval rating than he was in his first term, 47%, I think. But you look at some of the polls that are out there on how he's doing with the economy and how he's doing with this and how he's doing with that, and those numbers are starting to soften and go down a little bit.
Yep.
And I think that's bad.
I think you're correct. I think it's not going to. I can't see it getting better. His numbers.
He's already talking about softening the tariffs against China. He's just going to fold on this.
Yeah, because he's caving, and he realized his bullshit is bullshit, and there's nothing he can do.
It'll go the way everything else goes, right? There'll be some sort of an agreement. It'll be,
but it's the art of the deal. He knows what he's doing. It's the art of the deal. Bullshit. He didn't even write the art of the deal. So please give me a break.
Best case scenario, he improves the trade slightly with China and acts like it's bigger than it actually is. Is exactly what's probably going to happen.
What happens is, let's say trade was like this, then he tanks it, then he brings it up a little, and he'll call that a win. He'll go,
that little increase, the little part. Yeah.
It'll create a huge problem. He'll somewhat halfway solve it a little bit, and he'll go, see, I solved the problem with China. And it's like, well, you created the fucking problem with China. So
anyway,
I think we're, is that a show?
The point is, I think Larry David was wrong.
Larry David was right. Love it.
I don't want to rehash it, but I think I love Larry David, but he was wrong. I think we need more people.
First read it.
All right, I will. But I think we need more people with differing opinions talking to each other.
That's not Larry. That wasn't his point. Just read it first.
All right, I'll read it.
Good. It's very short. For people out there who haven't read it yet, I encourage you to read Larry David's op-ed.
Why did you do that? That was insulting. You're like, it's very short. Like, I can't read. Like, I got a problem reading.
Yeah. Yeah, Nimrod.
This was 2.5 hours. Why? I don't.
Yeah. Can you hit the music already?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to, but I don't know if I hit something on my microphone. It sounds different. Something's not right here. Do I sound different to you?
No.
Okay. Note to self: don't put the Trump topic last. I screwed that up. That's on me, everybody.
I didn't even know there was going to be a Trump topic, but I don't know how we got on it.
Well, by the way, we didn't get on it.
The curb thing. I think the curb thing brought us there.
Larry
David.
Yeah, my point was we don't need two more American flag. By the way, I was going to shit all over the guy, and I didn't even get a chance to because you took us off course. We don't need 2 more fucking flag. He's out there going, we're going to put a huge 100-foot flag. We don't need that. There's a fucking flag on top of the goddamn building. That's the flag. There it is.
He's all show. He's all smoke and mirrors. So
he was out there, Frankie.
That's all that is.
He's pointing at stuff. And people are like, "Isn't this great? Like, what a proud like."
Oh, look, a flag that'll solve our problems.
That's when I lose it with the Republicans because I'm like, you can't be falling for this shit, can you? Like
When I see every now and then I see a truck or someone's Jeep go by with all these Trump flags on it. I go, one more flag, and then you got me. That's you missed out. If there were 10 flags, you got 9 flags. There were 10. Then you have an argument. But 9, no, I can't listen.
Oh my God. And then he goes, and I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for the flagpoles. Like,
it's a big fucking deal.
It's a flagpole. I don't think we need you to pay for it. And also, how much could it possibly be?
Yeah. Oh, it's a big. Oh, what a big deal. What, you know, I love how people go, oh, he donates his salary. Yeah. He also fucking makes billions of dollars and uses how many millions of dollars does he spend of the taxpayers' money golfing every other day or whatever?
What? Well, forget that. They all golf. Why?
No, don't even do that. He
all golf.
He golfs way more than any other president has ever golfed.
Oh, that might be, but we pay for all of them to golf, so it's a moot point to me. But
not moot.
Why is there a Trump coin? Why is there a Trump coin? Like he's actively, like he just put
making money off of his office. Which is another fucking problem.
They just put a thing out that was like, oh, if you own a Trump coin, you can come have dinner with the president. I'm like, this isn't how it should be. This is not how it should be.
None of this is normal.
That's bad.
It's all bad, man. It's all bad.
And then they go, oh, look at how wholesome people. I put this. We didn't get to it on Monday. You weren't here. People were like, look at him and the first lady at the egg at the Easter thing. Look how wholesome and one. I'm like, he fucked a porn star while she was pregnant. Everybody remembers that, right? But the Republicans were
shot.
Oh, they were like, oh, look at how wholesome. Like finally, like,
how about he has to do this?
That's a loser for you guys to go. Oh, he's so wholesome.
Oh yeah, he's the moral guy. Yeah,
the guy with 3 wives and fucking
3 wives. How many kids and affairs galore?
Yeah.
This is your moral leader.
That was a bad look for Republicans. But there's people out there going, "Isn't this wonderful?" Like they were joking around together. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. I would make more of the
argument. That's the Larry David argument.
I would make more of these points if Frank ever let me talk.
That's the Larry David argument. You're normalizing him.
I disagree. I think what Bill Maher did was great. I think he went in there, didn't kiss his ass, and told him what he felt.
But what you just described, that whole now look at him with the Easter bunny and all this stuff, it makes him more normal, and it makes it like, oh, see, he's not such a bad guy.
Well, let's be honest. The Republicans have the Democrats beat in this area because a lot of Republicans went on CNN and MSNBC, went into their opposition's backyards and fought their battles. Kamala did not do one fucking show that was not going her way beforehand. And that's another reason why she got her ass kicked. She should have went on Fox News. She should have went on OAN. She should have done all those
Trump didn't go on the other ones.
Yes, he did. He was on CNN all the time.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he did the CNN town hall. He did all those shows. He did all that stuff. He took an ass kicking on a lot of them.
Well, then what the fuck?
Yeah, well, because they were willing to go there, and he wasn't.
So it doesn't even matter. So it didn't matter.
No, but he went on Joe Rogan. She could have. She was like, no.
Well, Joe Rogan was up his ass. So
Joe Rogan was not up his ass. Joe Rogan said
he should have gone on Joe Rogan. I agree.
He said you can both come on. They wanted him to go somewhere else. He said, no, you got to come here. Trump agreed. She didn't. And,
He should have. I agree. He should have.
Yeah. All right. Well, we gave the people 2.5 hours, Frankie. See, holy shit. Holy shit.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Show me potato salad.
We got to go. We're putting a tariff on this episode. No more.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Oval.